Hoka, hey, Alita Army. Welcome to the Alita live stream of December 1st, 2023. Rare ships in the Alita Multiverse continued. That being continued from Radio KAOS' stream for last week. And this is where we discuss all things to do with the movie Alita Battle Angel, the source manga Gundam, and the greatly desired sequels. I am your host, the Muskogee Creek from Denver, Colorado. And right now I'm the only person here, and that's okay. So I guess that kind of renders this slide moot, doesn't it? So, but it's cool. If anybody if you want to come on and talk about the relationships, particularly those that were possible or strange relationships, there is the link right there in the chat. All you got to do is click on it. You can come on the stream and we can talk about it. And you can just come on for just a few minutes if you want and just say, I love Alita and get off, or you can come on and stay on. Whichever you want, it's cool. We're all friends here on the Alita live stream. And I guess Angelus is kind of, he's probably, let's see, I'm checking now my DMs. I don't see that he's been called into work or anything like that. So maybe he's just running a few minutes late. So anyway, there's no guest to welcome at this point, but that's okay. I want to talk about the Alita sequel partition, actually. And there's the link you see below the image there on your screen. And down in the description below the screen itself is a link. So, there's Vladi from the
Vladdy's here to save the day again.
Yes, excellent. I appreciate it, Vladi.
Where's Angelus? What's his excuse this time? I know he's already out. I've seen him around.
Yeah,
Twitter.
well, he's probably who knows what it is. He's maybe trying to get his coffee or something like this. Who knows? I don't think he was called into work, or else he'd have sent me a DM, you know. So how are things in the UK there, Vladi?
Lazy Aussies. They're getting very cold. Below freezing now, so I'm having to wear face masks and stuff just to walk around. It's we're used to just on mild temperatures, you know. We can't handle any extremes.
Yeah, I guess that's the way it is here too. We're getting some pretty cold weather as well. We even got a little snow here the other day, but not too much, maybe a couple of inches.
I want some snow. Oh, my sister's house, it was snowing there today, actually. They had a tiny bit of snow.
Think you'll get a white Christmas there in the UK there, Vladi?
That doesn't happen very often. It's normally just raining.
That's weird that you guys don't get as much snow as we do here in Colorado, because you're further north than we are. So you would think you would get more snow. But
it's really random. I don't know why. It's something to do with El Nino or whatever that thing is called. I don't know.
Yeah, or La Nina or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah, there's two of them. They sound very similar. And it was
that's right.
Up. El Nino and La Nina or something.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, that's the way it works. I guess they're kind of like our Queen Rosa, you know. They give us their full effect when they get there, you know. So, and our Queen is like that. She gives us all she has when she does movies. So and it's the same thing with La Nina, I guess. So, okay, but anyway, anybody, if you have not signed the petition, please click on the link down in the description below the screen here. That includes you future people that may be watching the stream after it airs. And also, we got a campaign going on, the Hero Arm campaign, and we've got $2,372.
It's a new month, Creaky. We need to put a bit in.
Yeah, we do. We need to promote it.
I'm going to chuck a tenner in, I think.
Yeah, I think I'm going to, put out a few tweets and put something on Facebook and Instagram, I guess, just to remind folks. But anyway, just click on that link. If you find that link a little bit too intimidating, like some folks do find, some of these financial websites a little bit intimidating, just by looking at the way it's set up and all, there's a tip jar below down in the description as well. And it's a little less intimidating, I suppose, and you don't have to try to figure out how much you're going to. It gives you a couple of options, and they're very inexpensive. So if you prefer that, that's the way you can go on that one. But even if you cannot donate anything, which by the way, no amount's too small. You know, $1, 1 peso, 1 pound, 1 euro, 1 credit. If you're happen to be watching this in the 26th century, then you know, no amount's too small. But
and just think, it's taking so long. Eventually, by the time we actually fund it, they might have like reduced the cost of all the technology, because it's just going to keep developing. So we might even get better bang for our buck eventually. So just keep topping it up every now and then. I think just keep it going.
I think so. Well, I think Alita Rave and I are going to put a substantial amount in there as soon as we see where it is. You know, it gets starts getting close to the goal. We'll pony up some serious dollars to get it up there. So, you know, we're going to do that as well. So
we could use the boost that like a sequel would give, get more people into the fandom.
You betcha. So, but
Disney.
Yes, both of these are letting Disney know that we're serious about our girl. That's for sure. We do have more than this in the bank, though. We got roughly $3,822 or something like that in the bank. I don't know how many pounds that is, Vladdy, but you know, it's we're doing okay. We're not hurting for money in the Alita Army. You know, I mean, certainly you can always stand to get more, but you know, we're not pushing folks to give us money. We don't want to do that. You know, we're more in tune with that sequel. That's what we really want. You know, the money is just something extra, I guess. So also be on the lookout for this one. We had a quick little meeting before the stream here, and we decided, and we got some feedback from Staravellian on this too. We're not going to just kind of hit this as a re-release, although it is going to be, because it's got a lot of those, a lot of the theater chains, their X handles or Twitter handles or whatever are all in there. But we're also going to tag Disney on this, and we're going to put the one hashtag Alita sequels in there, and we want that thing to trend. And we have tentatively set, which I think it's more than just tentative. It's just pretty much a done deal, I think. Is going to be Valentine's Day on the 24th, because that is the anniversary. Yeah, that's right. Or February 14th. Yeah, I was looking at 24 at the end of the year there. Yeah, February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, which will mark 5 years since
5 years and still no sequel confirmed.
And still no sequel. Yeah, well, that's not unusual for a James Cameron film, is it? So, you know, but we'll just keep battling. You know, I mean, as long as we're having fun doing this, we just keep battling. It's not that big a deal. We're also going to fly a plane around Disney headquarters again. We're going to do that, and I think Vladdy, we probably could get that cosplayer out there and that videographer back out there to shoot to do what they did there, and have to ask Charlie to show up again, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, possibly. So, we'll see. We need to, I guess, just the same kind of messages again, but then why do we could just reuse the same footage.
Well, we probably could, but if we use the same footage, Disney won't see it flying around their headquarters. That's
for sure.
That's
definitely get a new plane.
Yeah, that's right. So, you know, if they see it again, somebody's gonna notice it for sure. And you know, hopefully they'll say, wow, this Alita Army group is really serious about this movie. And we are very serious about this movie. So
exactly. Keep flying. We should fly planes over them every week.
Well, that's going to be a little expensive to do that, but hey, you know, if we could strike gold somewhere, you know, or who knows what, you know, maybe we could do
ST should just do it. He should take a year break from his job and just do it.
Well, he'd have to fly across country because he lives in North Carolina, so he doesn't live in Hollywood. So so he's he lives in a community called Lake Norman, which is a really nice community. So they're in North Carolina. So anyway. Okay, that is that. Any thoughts about this or the two campaigns there, the sequel petition to and the Abraham campaign?
No, I'm glad we've decided on a date of when to do something, and obviously the anniversary makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think so, because I think
We can
if we
talk about it more
tried,
tomorrow on the stream.
well, if we tried to do it sooner, like we tried to do it next couple of weeks, we got Christmas is a problem, and we won't have enough time to promote it like we want and stuff like that. So I think if we do it like this and we just start gearing up for it, by the time Valentine's Day rolls around, we can really blitz Disney with as they say down south, a show enough campaign to give us that sequel. So, you know, that's what we want. We want that sequel. So, by the way, Vladi, did you hear that? We may have talked about this at that meeting, but, you know, Bob Iger is, I saw a tweet or a story or something where Bob Iger says he's going to leave Disney soon. Do you know anything?
Off. Yeah, I mean, he's just his whole legacy is collapsing around him.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alita's going to outlive Bob Iger at Disney, that's for sure.
Yeah, I think so. Hello, Finn, out there in the chat, or hello, Chin, Finn. So good to have our pals from Germany out there. Smendrick also, and of course we got David Alexander. He's out there from France, and Kabaj 99. I'm not sure where you are from, Kabaj. So anyway, that's fine. So no, it's okay. You're late, Finn. Angelus is late. He's not even here. So. So you beat Angelus. So there you have it. Okay. Well, anyway, I guess we can move on to the topic. And
what's the topic? We're doing more ships.
Well,
we need Channel and Matu back. We can't do it without them.
Well, we're going to struggle to do it.
Girls are just. This is just so much better for girls to talk about.
Yes, it is, and we're definitely not
really
girls. Think about it. For sure.
Like half the stream yesterday was just those two talking, and I was loving it.
Yeah, it was great. I just love those two.
That's what I was there for.
Well, I also invited Cran. Well, that was the last week's stream, but Cran's got real busy right now working on a project of some sort, and she's. I think so. She sent me a DM saying that she's going to be unavailable for a little while, but she's going to come back. You know, she hasn't left the Alita Army. That was for sure. Yeah, I guess Finn. That's right, Finn. You were born in Germany. That's right, or Deutschland, but now you're in Switzerland. So yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Hi everyone in chat.
Yeah. Well, that Legends. Finn. He speaks Swiss German, which is a different kind of German, I think, from what little I know.
So confusing.
Yeah. He understands German for sure. High German, that's for sure. But, you know. All right, yeah, Vladi. Well,
do we know when Bob's actually going?
I have no idea. I just saw that quick little story or whatever, but it just
won't
said,
be before. It won't be before February. So.
I have no idea.
It would be cool if the banner was flying like straight after he's gone. Then it would be like, come on, now like show you're going in a new direction without Bob's mistakes.
Or fly it the day he's leaving.
Yeah, exactly. Alita kicking him on the way out.
Yeah, that's right. So
she showed no mercy.
Yeah, he's. Well, to
he
me,
screwed everything up, man. Look at all of his movies just flopping left, right, and center.
Yeah, they're definitely not doing well. That's for sure.
Yeah, and the whole like Captain Marvel sequel, one of the biggest bombs in the history.
Yeah,
and so possibly Bob Iger made a few mistakes back in 2019 when he like abandoned Alita and went with all the Marvel shit.
Yeah. Well, I also read somewhere where he's already blown all the money that was made, profit he made on Avatar too. So,
well, yeah, but that's still money.
Yeah, they still got money, but I've read. Guess who just showed up? Better late than never. There's our guy, Angelus from Brisbane in Queensland, Australia. How's it going, Angelus?
Vladi complaining about Bob Iger.
Yeah,
what's like timing? That's what I've been doing the whole stream so far.
Yeah,
just a constant rant about Bob Iger.
Yeah, well, it is what it is.
You just tuned in.
Yes, indeed.
Vlad the Iger Impaler.
That's right.
No mercy.
So how are things down there in Brisbane there, Angelus?
Oh, bloody oath. It's going pretty good, mate.
All right, cool.
Is it getting hot?
Yeah, it probably is. It's summer. It's going to be summer there pretty soon.
Oh, yeah, just a smidge.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like an Aussie. Yeah. So anyway, getting to the topic here, and it's kind of like Waddy was saying, we're missing Matu and Channel because they're the ones that know a lot about these relationships, but
Yeah.
we're not going to spend too much time on this slide because these are the obvious relationships. I mean, we know Alita and Hugo in Figure 4. We know that. I mean, it's big deal. I mean, we know those two relationships are going to happen. And in the movie, of course, there was Ito and Shirin and Nova and Eli in the manga. Tanji and Koyomi's a little bit different because we don't know if they're just friends or if they're lovers. We don't really know for sure.
Or friends with benefits.
Or friends with benefits could be. Yeah, I think in the novelization, they weren't lovers, but they might have been friends with benefits. But I do know they were at least friends. So that was in the novelization. The movie doesn't really clear that up that much. So
who are we talking about? Sorry,
Tanji and Koyomi.
Tanji and Koyomi. Yeah, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't really show it in the movie at all.
Yeah, we don't have any idea what their relationship's like.
I think they wanted to leave Koyomi pretty blank.
Probably
because it was all about Alita this time. So
yeah, although they could have added a little bit more if they had Koyomi and Tanji as an item, or as lovers. Then that could have set us up for some drama in the sequel, where maybe Koyomi blames Alita for Tanji's death or something that,
Yeah,
but and then of course Alita, kind of sets her straight about Zapan killing him and stuff like that. But oh well.
No time.
Yeah, that's right. That's history now. And then, of course, we know Zapan and Sarah, we know that they were an item and Sarah was really helping Zapan. And then, of course, and this is in the manga, but, they, I guess, Zapan sees Alita or something like this. Hey, Channel, I sent you a link. Did you get it? Hopefully you did. Anyway, let me put that back in there just in case you didn't get it in Discord. Yeah, there it is, Channel, right there. If you want to come on, there it is. So if you can't for some reason, that's okay. But yeah, I guess Zapan, he saw Alita. I guess he saw her on the television or something like that, and it triggered him, and he accidentally kills Sarah, and Sarah was the love of his life, and of course that kind of set him off against Alita because he blames Alita for that, which is totally illogical, but he blames her for it, and well, that's the way it worked out there for him. So Zapan really is he's kind of a poor old soul, as my mother used to say about folks that, were in hardship, like that. But he had really become kind of a good person or something like that. He I guess he kind of helped around that soup kitchen or whatever it was, helped Sarah because she volunteered there or something like that. But as fate would have it, he goes nuts when he sees Alita and accidentally kills Sarah, so.
What's the plan? He just can't control himself.
Yes, he cannot. That's right. But those are the obvious relationships, and we talked about them, briefly, I guess, on the stream last week on Radio KAOS. And yeah, that's right. Tanji and Koyomi do go well together, but I don't think that they were, according to the novelization, I didn't garner or gather rather that they were actually lovers. I think they were just like maybe really good friends, but they could have been lovers. I don't know, So, but certainly this is not rare ships. This is obvious ships. You know, we know these are going to happen for sure, you know, or have happened. Now, on the rare side, we talked about some of these last week, and I got another slide coming up about some what ifs, you know, which we didn't really get to, or some of them anyway. But as you can see on the, we used pretty much the same graphic as we had on the thumbnail last week on Radio KAOS. Adjicutty and Crimson Wind. Now, there's one we didn't talk about. And that, if you look just above, you know, and figure 4 is just above her there. To figure 4's right, you'll see 2 yellow circles there circling those 2 individuals. That is Adjicutty and Crimson Wind. Now, you know, there is nothing in the manga that suggests that they're an item or that they have any kind of relationship other than, you know, being professional motorball players, you know, and that's pretty much all we know about those 2 in terms of their relationship with each other. We do
Crimson
know
Wind is going to be epic.
Yes, she is. She most definitely is. And I tell you, I'd like to see Zoe Saldana play Crimson Wind myself.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah, it would. She'd be great at that, I think.
But
yeah, I kind of got a little mini crush on Zoe Saldana.
Wasn't
as well.
she modeled after that model? What's her name?
Who's
that
this
model from like the 80s? Crimson Wind. She looks so much like, you know, the
Grace
model
Jones.
I mean. Grace Jones. That's the one.
Pretty old now.
Yeah, Grace
she
Jones
would be a bit
is
too old now, but I don't know if they'd find someone who looked more like her.
Well, I mean, they could certainly do motion capture on her, and I think Grace Jones is still in pretty good shape too. I don't think she's.
Yeah, I think they could get her on the roller skates.
Yeah, they could. You know, I mean, I think she'd do a heck of a job, actually, Grace Jones, because she in that Conan the Destroyer movie, and then in I guess there was a James Bond movie she was in called God, what was that movie? A View to a Kill. That's what she was in.
Yeah, that was cool.
She was badass in both of those
cool
movies.
In that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, she would be a good Crimson Wind, you know. But I think Zoe Saldana is, you know, she's younger.
She'd be great. Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I think so. I think both of them would be great, you know. And I've seen a couple other names bantered around as well, you know, for Crimson Wind. There's there's Channel. There's Channel.
Hi.
How's it going, Channel?
Fine. I tried to enter through the link you sent me, but my Wi-Fi was not having it.
Oh, I wonder, was it? Do you have a VPN or something on there, or maybe a firewall that's blocking it, or what?
No, the link from the stream worked. It just said that please plug in your Wi-Fi. It's not strong enough.
Wow.
The links Maxi sent were fine, and it looked like the exact same type of link. So I guess just the Wi-Fi was not strong enough to connect.
That's weird. It shouldn't matter. But anyway, welcome aboard, as they would say. And of course, Channel is from Poland. And she is going to be, now that she's on the stream, she's going to be our expert on relationships.
I am not an expert on relationships.
Well, in the manga you are, I think. Or at least you know.
I'm just in fandoms that actually do shipping, unlike Alita.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway, we were still talking about Adjicutty and Crimson Wind, and of them possibly being, you know, an item or say.
Yeah,
but
why not? They'd be like a motorball power couple.
Could be, you know. Now, of course, the manga doesn't have anything to say about those two being any kind of relationship, either as friends or otherwise. The only relationship they are is they're both professional motorball players, and that's about it. And they compete on the same track, you know, and that kind of thing. So in the manga, Adjicutty and Crimson Wind are in the second league, and I guess in the movie they're in the Champions League or the first league. So so they know each other for sure, you know, and they compete against each other. So who knows, you know, maybe they could become an item, you know. They
for
just
sure.
don't know.
You can totally imagine like the competitors sparring on the track, and they like you know, they start flirting with each other on the track and they form relationships. I can totally see that happening.
Or maybe they gain some kind of respect for each other, you know, professional respect for being good motorball players. You know, that's possible, you know, and
Yeah,
then
for sure.
that kind of, since they, you know, they could start out with just mutual respect, and then that thing grows into, you know, I guess
Training together, maybe.
yeah.
That's part of the step. Friendly banter in the locker room changing into flirting.
Exactly. So much flirting in the locker room because of all the like competitive energy as well. They must be like going at each other, you know.
Yep.
The other competitors would hate it if there was constant flirting in the locker room.
Yeah, I hope Cameron puts a lot of flirting in the Motorball sequels.
Well, for that matter, Joshigan and Crimson Wind could have a relationship, you know, or if
they're all falling over themselves for Joshigan.
Well, if Joshigan was gay, then of course any relationship, or if he was bisexual rather than.
I mean, maybe there's someone falling over him. Even maybe he's not gay, but there's still someone falling over him, hoping for the slight sliver of a chance that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's right.
Just because it's not gonna happen doesn't mean someone's not going to waste their effort.
Yes. Well, they give it their best shot anyway, wouldn't they? So that's for sure. So I guess, yeah, those two are possible, I think. And of course, those are two that Maxi actually identified, you know, when he did the thumbnail for last week's Radio KAOS stream. So a couple of others up there, of course, would be Alita. And of course, a lot of guys are going to be after Alita, I'm so sure. And not just guys, the girls will be after her too, you know.
I see. Even Elfen's Wolf in the manga were joking that about Zazie proposing to Alita.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Alita.
Yeah, Zazie. That's right, Zazie. I don't have Zazie up there, but Zazie could, you know, who knows? You know, I mean, you know, there's nothing to say it always has to be a guy and a girl. It can be two girls, two guys, doesn't matter. You know, if they start having feelings for each other, then there you have it. You got a relationship, you know. And of course, Alita and Lou. Now, Alita and Lou, they were basically friends. You know, they developed a really strong friendship or bond because Lou was Alita's controller, I guess, when she was in the Tuned program. And of course, Lou, I guess, you know, they take Lou's brain and put it in Melchizedek, you know, and of course, Alita goes seeking Lou, you know, and then of course when she gets into kind of Melchizedek, Lou doesn't recognize her, so you know, kind of a little sad thing there, you know, because Alita wanted to rescue Lou, but wasn't happening, I guess. So yeah, anything about Lou that you guys want to talk about?
And then even in the non-canon ending where Lou doesn't die, just Alita immediately dies instead. The world will not let these two stay together.
No, they won't. No, that's right.
That just sums up Alita's relationships.
Yeah, I saw, I guess it was an interview that Rosa did about, 4 or 5 years ago. And she was, I forget who was interviewing her, but Rosa said one of the things she liked about or loved about Alita was the fact, you know, she kept meeting these people. And it was like they were in her life for a little while, and then she moves on and meets the next one and meets the next one. And that was a video, I guess, Vladi, where the interviewer asked her what character in the Alita universe does she want to meet the most. And of course, I loved this. She said, "Oh, Figure 4," and I just love that. I love that, boy. You know, that was great. You know, that she wants to. You know, meet Figure 4, you know, because they are more or less on the same level. Although I think Alita kicked his butt pretty good in the desert, didn't she? But in terms of their mental makeup and all that, I think Figure 4 he's more of a natural match for Alita than Hugo was. I think Hugo was kind of well, I mean, I know I hope I don't get in trouble with a lot of Alita Army folks here, but I think Hugo was a little bit I won't call him a wimp because he had to survive in that very tough environment, but I would definitely say he wasn't
shut your mouth.
Well, here's the thing. He wasn't like Figure 4 though. Figure 4 is a warrior, you know, and
Yeah, for sure.
and
Yuga was 15 though. At least
Yeah,
the
he's
manga
just a
we
boy.
know.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. And I think I've said on some other streams too that my feelings for Hugo kind of evolved over time mainly because I guess Alita loved him anyway. And I know when I first saw the movie, first couple of times, I didn't like Hugo. I mean, the first time I saw the movie, I thought, well, you know, okay, she could do better, but he seems okay and he treats her good, stuff like this. But then he makes that deal with Vector and then finds out, you know,
confusing.
and that right there, I said, oh, I don't like this little bastard, you know, that kind of thing. But Alita,
he's just really dumb. That's how I rationalize it. He's
well,
just really dumb.
Well, it's like Ito said, you know, that this city, you know, corrupts even the best people, you know, and you know, after that, I said, well, you know, maybe that's true. And I guess, you know, that Alita really loved him and stuff like that. So my feelings evolved on him a little bit, you know, because he did in the end, you know, he did turn, you know, so, but as Angelus says, he turned too little too late, you know, but, you know, but that's the way life is sometimes, I guess. But, well, what about Lou? Alita and Ping Wu? What do you guys think
about Lou?
that?
One more thing, that she's kind of similar to Chaos in that she's also probably a wimp, but unlike Chaos, she's not getting a heart attack every time something interesting happens.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if Chaos is he's kind of a wimp, except when he touches like a weapon, like he touched that katana, you know, and he became an expert swordsman, you know. And yeah, I don't know if I'd call him a wimp because that psychometry makes him pretty powerful, you know, but I agree with you.
He flip-flops between being really badass for 12 minutes and then being a wimp.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. But what about Ping Wu?
He's still trying to get together with Rem, or at least the team. Or at least Nova was hoping for him to get back with Rem. I don't know why I said that. They probably just called Rem because that was the only person that they knew would show up without calling the cops.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have any cops, did they? I mean, you mean hunter warriors or whatever they had there for law enforcement?
Jeru does have cops. This isn't Iron City.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And now Ping Wu kind of betrayed them too, didn't he? Alita and I guess whoever else she was with. I can't remember now. It's been so long.
The Toon and Nova. Except Nova wasn't really with them anymore. They had one of the chips that being turned into Porta Nova. Alita was with the Toon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Ping Wu's kind of a, you know, if Maxie was here, he would say he was a bastard, you know. I think, you know, I think he helps them for a time, then he kind of turns on them, I think. But
is Ping Wu circled in the picture?
Yes, he's
which one?
Right, he's right off Alita's right shoulder.
Except he.
Oh, with the green hat.
How did he turn on them?
I don't remember exactly what that was, but he does portray them somehow.
No, from what I remember, he's really unwilling to keep working with Alita, but he doesn't betray her. In fact, he gets severely brain damage when he's holding off a body to give Nova and Alita more time, more time to get into the incubator.
Okay.
Only for everything to get fucked up by Supernova, and now we have too many Novas. But even Alita is surprised that Ping Wu didn't betray them.
Okay. Well, I guess my memory of it was different, you know, but because it's been so long since I've read the manga, so
he looks a bit like Keanu Reeves. He should play him in the movie.
Possible, yeah.
That kind of long, shaggy hair look. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Welcome, Chaos Nova from Mentor, Ohio.
All right, Chaos.
Chaos, you're muted, I think.
Get ready for him to unmute and then just be like,
oh,
he disappeared.
We just lost him. So Says his device is not connected. So
He always brings theatrical chaos, does chaos, doesn't he? He
yeah,
definitely does it on purpose.
Well, that's kind of his namesake, I guess.
Exactly. You've got to live up to it.
Yes. So what do y'all think about Alita and Ping Wu as a possible? Do you think that thing could have grown into any kind of relationship whatsoever?
I don't know.
Well, that's right, Bloody. There's Chaos again.
Still
Hello,
music though.
Chaos.
Oh, there. No, I'm not.
Great.
That is insanely loud.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. All right.
So how's it going, Chaos? How's things in Ohio?
A little busy, but you know, repairs happen when they need to happen.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. I've been doing some of that myself lately. So, yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about what would a relationship between Alita and Ping Wu look like, and I think we all agreed that that's probably not going to happen.
I just don't see Ping Wu as really having loyalty, you know, as a character. I mean, he's kind of anarchistic and, you know, not anarchistic, but he doesn't really have solid loyalties. He just wants to do things for his, or rather his own amusement.
For his own purpose, yep.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys, and let's move on to, I guess, what about, now this, the next one's kind of obvious. That wouldn't be rare, I guess, but Alita and Joshigan. I think that one there would be, that's not, there's no surprise there. I think she would definitely, if Joshigan hadn't have died.
You like the look of him the first time she saw him.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
Well, she was always impressed with him, but I think if he had not died after that last match, who knows? They might have, you know, they might have got
well, in the
together.
movie, you never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, well, I can't see them departing too far from the manga in the movie. But,
they might get together.
Yeah, they might.
Spar on, like, they might have that relationship we were talking about where they like have a really good spar on the track.
Yeah, they
get some like makes them attracted to each other.
Yeah, well, because they're both similar, aren't they, in that regard?
Yeah,
exactly.
They are.
But they'll probably save that for Figure 4. Sorry, Channel.
They'd certainly be a better couple than Shimura and Nido.
Yeah.
Just because of the age difference and also the difference in attitude.
Yeah, that's definitely not right.
I never saw Joshigan and Alita getting together, but it could work.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because they have similar, well, I say they have similar interests. Alita really didn't care that much for motorball. I mean, I think she kind of enjoyed it when she was competing, but she was really only doing it so she could forget Hugo, you know?
Yeah.
And if you remember after that last match, you know, remember Adjicutty got upset with her.
It only got personal when Joshigan showed up.
Yeah. Well, Adjicutty got on to remember say, hey, we're all in this because this is our, I don't forget how he put it, this is our lives, this is our profession or whatever. And you're just here, you know, for whatever reason, you know. And she said, she agreed, you know, yeah, that's right, you know. So anyway, that's, yeah, I think Alita and Joshigan, that wouldn't be such a rare relationship had Joshigan not died. I think they would, I think it'd be very likely that those two would hook up, as they would say, you know.
Does that mean Alita would Alita still would the rest of the story still happened like it did? Would Alita have been drafted into the Toon if if Joshigan hadn't died and if they had become a couple?
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have. Although whether or not Joshigan and Alita got together or not would be pretty independent of whether Zapan, you know, goes on his rampage and then Alita getting torn to bits and ending up in that room where she's got to decide whether she's going to join the Toon program or die, you know. I'm sorry?
Joshigan is pretty famous, so if Alita were to start they're dating Joshigan, they'd be pretty automatically a celebrity couple. Like, they would almost be bound to become a celebrity couple. So Alita would be on TV even more. So the chances of Japan seeing her and having him, his whatever, would be at least as high, probably higher. The question is, would Alita still almost die trying to stopping Japan?
Yeah, because I think what triggered Japan was because he saw
Alita on
Alita.
TV, so that would still happen.
Yeah. So I think I don't think there was any way around it. I think Alita and Japan would have had their battle, whether Jashigan was alive or not. Now Jashigan might have helped her, he might have done that, but I think the way Japan was, he would have killed Jashigan once he got in that berserker body. So I think probably that it would have turned out the same way, that she. Yeah, I mean that's just my thought, who knows if Japan had seen Alita on TV with Jashigan and they were like lovebirds, kind of like I guess Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are right now here in America. Maybe he wouldn't have got triggered and that wouldn't have got mad and he wouldn't have killed Sarah. And he wouldn't have ended up with a berserker body. Who knows? That could have happened, I guess.
In the main timeline, he saw Alita on the track, which that would still happen, but there would be even more reminders of Alita, because Alita in the main timeline, in the canon timeline, kind of went into the shadow after she won the champion. She didn't win the champion. Sorry, I messed up. After she got into the champions, she kind of quit and went to the shadow. Whereas if she stayed with Jashigan, there would be way more reminders of Alita. Yeah. And it would also be easier for Japan to find where she lives, because locating where an almost random martial arts instructor lives might be hard, but locating where the girlfriend of a sports star lives would be way easier.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I tend to think things would have turned out the same way. I think maybe Jashigan wouldn't have died on the track, but he would have died when Japan killed him, and then Alita would have still had to fight him, and she'd have beat him just like she did. There's Metu. All right, we got both.
The whole gang back together.
I was supposed to wake up at 6 a.m. but insomnia, yay!
Okay.
Insomnia for the win.
Well, blame me if you're not rested tomorrow that I dragged you on here anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, Metu, we're talking about a possible relationship between Alita and Jashigan. If maybe if Jashigan hadn't have died on the track, if they would have developed some kind of romantic, or some attraction to each other and become an item, boyfriend and girlfriend type thing. And then we talked about, would that have changed things, because Japan would have still seen Alita. And I think with Japan and his berserker body, or Zerkerpan, would have killed Jashigan pretty easily, and Alita would have had to fight him anyway. So I don't know. That was just my take on that. So what's your thoughts on that?
My thought is that I always thought they would look kind of good together, like their relationship, the way it's built, like it could have been a really good, rivalry to lovers, a nice trope. And when it comes to Japan, I like your take, and of course, it's gun. It has to be dramatic. So I totally agree with your take.
Yeah, I think there's no way around it, unless the only out we thought would perhaps Japan, instead of seeing Alita on the track and getting triggered that way, and he loves Sarah so much, he sees he sees Alita with Jashigan, and it's kind of a couples type thing or situation he sees her in, and it doesn't trigger him, like it would when we saw her on the track. And maybe he never becomes Zerkerpan and Alita and Jashigan live together or whatever they do. I think that's a low probability myself, but that could happen.
Very low. We're talking about Alita. That never, happily ever after doesn't happen. It's like in Night City. In the scrapyard,
Well-
happily ever after doesn't happen.
Then
It seemed to
again,
happen for some people until Last Order happened. That is.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
but Alita is the main character. Main character don't live happily ever after.
I guess not.
Also,
Maybe.
Why
Even
not?
if we-
Come on, James
oh.
Cameron, please.
Well, maybe Alita and Figure 4 finally get together at the end of the 6th movie,
Yes.
If Josh-
perhaps.
if-
And then that
if
will
Josh
be the...
again and if
Go
Josh
ahead.
again and Alita were to be a lovey-dovey couple on TV, that would happen that would have to happen after the motorball arc, and the scene that Josh again that triggered Japan was during the motorball arc. So it would have to he would have to not turn on the TV during the entire most of the motorball season, not to see at least some Alita before her relationship with Joshugan. So
Yeah,
he's still getting triggered. Just
I
hopefully
think
a
so
bit
too. Yeah.
less.
I think that it's not. I think there's no way that there's a path where it's not going to end up the same way, you know. So, any other thoughts about Alita and Joshugan?
They would have make a great couple. They have the
Yeah.
same spirit. They have the same
Exactly.
values. They
Yeah.
They complete each other.
Power couple.
Yeah. And like I really see like if Jashugan did not die during the motorball fight, they would like, maybe encounter in the back scene and then furiously make out because they're finally admitting their passion for each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I love
It's so
how
cool.
half of Alita ships are just, if they didn't die, like, okay, but if Hugo didn't die,
But they
if
always
Lou
die.
did not die, if Joshugan did not die,
Well,
He died, though, didn't he?
well, Lou
Half of
died,
Alita's
and
love life is, well, half of Alita's love life is just, why are you not together anymore? Well, or why did you
He
not
died.
get together? Because I'm not a necrophile.
Because
died.
death did us part.
Yeah.
yeah.
And like something great about the relationship is like you can see the way Lida actually looks up to him. She has a lot of respect for him, and he grows to respect her and see what she's made of. And this is really interesting. I mean, of course they would have made a great ship, etc. But their dynamic is not romantic, but it's still full of respect and admiration. And it's good because in most like mainstream media, that kind of relationship always evolves into romance. And here, this was not the case. It was the case of warrior respect for each other. And I think that's really pretty neat, honestly.
And at
Well,
this time, neither of them had confirmed. Alita, we know that she didn't have any. Neither of them had any confirmed romantic interest. So it's not even like we can be together. I already have someone.
Yeah, I like it, and I think also that Alita was still pretty. She was trying to get over Hugo. She was still not over Hugo, so it would have been too painful for her anyway. Well, that's really nice. Little alternate universe things.
Well, she did have his poster up in her bedroom when she had her apartment, and that tells me that she had probably, if it wasn't just very sincere respect, it might have been even a little bit of a celebrity crush,
Yeah, I don't see why not.
I don't know. I've got a huge poster of Mulder from X-Files in my room, and I don't have a celebrity crush on him.
I just even more like she was treating him as an inspiration. Like if that guy knew if he's going to die, he's gonna make it awesome, and if he's gonna live, he's also gonna make it awesome. I wanna be like that, but preferably not die.
Yeah.
She looked up to him. She wanted to beat him because she looked up to him. It was a goal she wanted to achieve.
Well, do you think let's say for a second that they did develop a romantic interest in each other, provided, of course, Joshugan doesn't die, which is, as Channel points out, that it's always, why doesn't she have this really good love life? That's because my last partner died. But let's suppose that they did get together. Now, that both of those are two really strong personalities. And if they develop a romantic relationship, they fall in love with each other, those two personalities eventually are going to clash, aren't they? So I don't know. What do you think?
Oh, I think that could be, the kind of funny type of clashing, the lovers constantly bickering with each other, like yelling at each other because they didn't do the dishes and they don't want to do it, and they're going to pester the other one about it. But in the end, they always make up and love each other. It's just that their personality clash a lot.
Those would be That'd be a hell of a fight, though, wouldn't it?
Arm wrestling over whose turn it is to do the dishes.
Yes. Yeah, that's a possibility. So, okay. Well, I guess we can move on to the next one.
I was going to say they would have the most athletic kids, but then I realized why that sentence has no sense, has no right to be here.
Yes. Well, their kids would have to be
adopted.
Yeah, adopted, or they both have DNA, so they could clone kids. They could do something like that, probably. But,
I don't know. I don't know
if I want to clone that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Imagine if they did try to clone Alita, if anyone tried to clone herself kids, and it's like, ma'am, what is your DNA?
Yeah.
Well, what's her basic existence? That's the thing.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though, what I'm saying, if they have the technology to bioprint someone, they certainly have the ability to take, DNA from two partners and combine them and incubate them and come out with a kid. They could certainly do that. That'd be easier than, we lost to KAOS, I guess. That'd certainly be easy.
I'm just picturing their little kids, like, they have twins and they're like little tots on the motorball track. Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah, they and they'd be little demons too, probably.
Pray for the scrapyard.
That's right. Okay, any more thoughts about Alita and Joshigan? There's KAOS.
If they did not have kids, which is likely, just if they would be, and assuming Shumira still reproduces a lot, because she probably will at some point and reproduce no matter what the timeline goes. Can you imagine how much that, like, a lot of families have a cool aunt or a cool uncle?
Yes.
Do you imagine how cool of an aunt and uncle they would be?
Yeah, well, Joshigan would be a pretty cool uncle, wouldn't he? That's for sure. Well, Alita would be a pretty cool aunt, I think, too.
Considering how much she loves kids, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think my thought about Alita and Joshigan now, to your point, Matu, that that Alita is trying to get over Hugo and all that, and there would probably be a little bit of a rebound effect there on that one if they did. But I think if it developed into a true love relationship, then I think Alita would probably Joshigan do at some level. They would soften up somewhat. I don't ever picture them being totally soft because they're both warriors, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that they would develop some, a little more softer, attitudes and things like that. Because you saw that in Alita, even in the, in the movie. She, around Hugo, she was, pretty soft. So
yeah.
Anyway, any more thoughts about Alita and Joshigan?
No, not for me.
If they were like a power couple in motorball, they'd do some like epic photo shoots with them just in their like amazing machine bodies posing next to each other, and there'll be like advertisements on the billboards and stuff. That would be so cool.
Oh yeah, that would be cool, and that would be a cool photo shoot too. If it was real, wouldn't it? That would be. You got the really powerful Joshigan and the powerful Alita, who's also very, very good looking. So I think that would be just superb, would be my thought. So the Creek would approve as her uncle. So anyway. Okay, let's move on. What about KAOS? Now I know KAOS is not, Alita never had any real romantic inclination. Well, she did have some feelings for him, I guess. Yeah, go ahead.
I think that was more of, admiration for what he was doing, and
Yeah.
for like he was acting on his own way, and she had respect for that. So I think that was more that kind of feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was platonic pretty much, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. But what do you think? He did convince her into getting into a wedding dress. I guess she did that
I
to
mean,
shut
he
him
can
up.
convince he can convince her to do anything by just whining hard enough, because
Yes.
Alita does not like whining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can, if you try to fight Alita, she will enjoy it. If you just sit there crying, she cannot take that. She will either leave the room, or if she can, she will try to do something to get you to shut up, either by doing what you want or by punching you until you stop crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alita, if you want that Alita to get something and willing to risk a lot, don't try to fight her for it. Just cry about it in front of her.
Yeah, that's right. I think that would annoy her to the max. I think she would not like that at all. And
especially if you're weaker than her. Like if you were equal force or stronger and you whine, she will kick your ass. But if
Yeah.
you're weaker than her, she will do anything to make you shut up, and she will not hit you because you're weaker.
Well, I'll tell you there.
She
you
might.
know, go ahead.
She might
Jenny.
hit you, but like lightly enough that she's controlling herself, so she knows she won't do too much damage because she knows you can't really fight back.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, it's kind of like, Lee Lemon has a story online, and his main character's name is Jason, and I guess he kind of whines or whatever he does, and she's eating a protein bar or whatever it is she's eating, and she got tired of him whining. She threw it at him, shut up, realize what you got and just be quiet, and just appreciate it, that kind of thing. But I agree with you. She didn't attack him and beat him up, she was, because he's not capable of fighting her, and she's
not the pan.
Yeah. Yeah. So any other thoughts about Alita and KAOS? Yeah.
Well, the film looks to be something quite different if, in so many ways, if, Ito takes him in, because then it's like, because he probably won't be all that interested in her at all.
Probably, yeah.
No, I'm just saying because, he sees Jasmine as being like his sister or his mom. So if he's like, if Ito's like kind of like his foster father, he's probably like, oh, well, she's my sister.
Yeah, I don't want that. Yeah, exactly. Now he does try to, he gets a little frisky with her, when she's on that.
Right, but it's different. It's probably different because it's just like Alita's looking for him. He's just like, well, maybe you could go try and help me find Ito because he's like your father, sort of.
Yeah, I still think he had a physical attraction to Alita until she slugs him. So.
That didn't stop it.
Yeah, that didn't stop. Yeah, that's right. It kept going.
He keeps trying to kiss her and it keeps failing.
Yeah.
KAOS Abuse is a separate type of slapstick comedy at this point.
Yeah.
It's not just Alita slapping him. Vector hit him with an ashtray. KAOS is getting abused by life.
Yes.
Funniest ways.
KAOS is the definition of being a victim.
Yeah. Now I will say I don't think of him as a wimp because he has that psychometry and
Well, just don't piss him off.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, because anything he touches, particularly if it's a weapon, he knows how to use that. He knows how to use that weapon immediately when he touches it.
He knows how to use it as long as the weapon has been used before. When you see on the last arc of Last Order, when he grabbed his katana and his katana was destroyed and then rebuilt from scratch, I think it was something like this. He got unable to use it because his psychometry could not read anything on it anymore because it was like quote unquote.
It had no data. It had no data on it.
Yeah.
Exactly. So his psychometry works as long as the object has an history of being used.
Yes.
Which is dude, this was the same katana he used the entire time. If at first, I get it, at first he learned how to use it from psychometry, but wouldn't he have built up some kind of muscle memory from using that
maybe,
katana?
but I think that's something he has to learn to get over. Okay, it's kind of like saying he's weak, but there's no way to slice through steel, like slice a huge cyborg in half, like Chaos does, without muscle power. You just can't do it.
Again, but psychometry doesn't give him bigger muscles.
He has a mental weakness. It's like Green Lantern's having a problem with yellow.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a psychological weakness because, like I said, if he slices a guy in half with an old katana, there's no way he does it without physical muscle power behind the blade.
Yeah.
Also, how is Den, as in Den in Chaos's body, visibly more muscular than Chaos when it's the same body?
Well, Chaos when he's a kid.
Where did they disappear later?
Well, Den's just a machine, but when Chaos is like mad and he's like Den possessed, he gets bulkier. So I don't know.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. When
it's like, well, are you familiar with the Incredible Hulk?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Incredible Hulk. Okay.
Yeah. Although he doesn't muscle up as much as Hulk does, but yeah, I agree. He's kind of like that. Yeah.
It's the power of science.
Yes, that's right.
The power of me angry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chaos smash. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't see Alita ever developing any kind of romantic feelings toward Chaos, but once again, that she does have a relationship with him because she respects him a lot, So kind of like I guess you would say like a good friend or something like that, perhaps. Yeah. Any other thoughts about Alita and Chaos?
When she's going to Jeru, she does send specifically a letter to Chaos to take care of the scrapyard for her.
Yes.
Yeah, because Chaos is kind of the voice of the scrapyard, actually.
Yeah, I see that relationship between Chaos and Alita as a one-way thing. Chaos, I think, has a crush on Alita, but Alita just sees him as a friend, or
she definitely sees him as someone who can be trusted with a lot of responsibility.
Yes. Yeah.
As someone who should be more responsible and someone to trust, just not a long-term romantic partner.
Yeah, she sees him, I think, as someone who has all the capacities and personality to lead, but who lacks the self-confidence to lead.
Yeah.
Because Chaos technically, in what he does, in the way he thinks, and in the way he inspires people, he has the quality of a leader. But sadly, he lacks the self-confidence of a leader, and he needs to get self-confidence because dude is good.
Yeah, he does do good, doesn't he? Yeah, he does.
She does even find him like physically attractive, not more that obviously figures more attractive to her, but she does also find Chaos attractive. So she would probably even say he'd look good on photo shoots.
Yeah, I guess he does. He is a kind of a pretty boy, isn't he? Sort of.
With that long, luscious hair.
Yeah.
A lot of people do. Chromie and Lou do as well.
Yeah.
Chaos, what shampoo is that?
Yes.
Especially the scrapyard.
Dove or something, I don't know.
Yeah, maybe Tresemme.
Dove is a shampoo. I thought Dove is a skincare line.
Yeah.
Someone needs to make a photo montage of Chaos on the L'Oreal commercial saying, "Because you're worth it."
Yeah.
Hey, I'll take that as a compliment.
Yeah. And Tresemme, doing Tresemme shampoo commercials.
Not sponsored. I just recommend cannabis shampoo.
Yeah,
it's genuinely great.
Yes, it is. Never used it.
Completely off topic. The shampoo and conditioner I use are from like the cheap grocery store and Paradoxical. I don't know if you know the store called Lidl, and it's like best shampoo. Is like the best shampoo and conditioner I ever used, and it's like the cheapest I ever bought. And it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, have figure 4 in the Old Spice commercials.
Yeah. That'll be so good.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to Kuhn. Now, you guys all know who Kuhn is, right?
No,
Yeah,
but
I always
Yes,
thought
male
I always
translator.
thought it was a
I don't.
one.
Well,
I think it's pronounced coin, coin,
Coin.
something like that.
Okay.
Because it's in German. I don't speak German fluently, so I don't wanna say bullshit. But I think it's something like coin or something
although
like this.
there's no umlaut over that U, so not sure about that. I don't know how you pronounce that.
I pronounce it
Oh, come on,
Keon,
Creaky, you can speak German.
when
Yeah, but it's no umlaut over there, so I don't know if that is coin or if it's Kuhn. So
Coin, I don't know.
yeah.
Google Translate will tell us the way.
Yeah, that's right. You could punch that in German and then hit play and see what it says. Although I'd be aware of Google Translate.
Google Translate is flawed to an extent.
Yes. And probably just pick it up as a proper name too, So, but anyway,
I tried to Google Translate a fanfic I found, and it kept changing everything regarding to Nova to female form.
wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
That has
what
been
about?
true
Well,
since.
Nova is a little bitch.
Well,
And
what
also
about
a few things around Galley to male form for some reason.
Because it's
Well,
Gary. It's Gary.
I love that too. I love the fact that it's Gary. Yes.
The cat that he named her after was a boy in the thing
Yeah.
mock-up.
And I can definitely say Gary's a boy. Because Gary is a freak.
That's funny because actually in France, her name is not Gary but Gali with L instead of R. So,
Right? No, it's in English translation. It is that way as well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, what do we think about Alita and this character named Coin or Kuhn or whatever you want to call him?
I think it's very wrong. I think it's very wrong because Gali is a literal toddler when he's an adult.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because there's age
someone out.
difference, as in, there's a big age difference, but they both meet when they're adults and old enough that it doesn't matter. And then there's age difference, as in, she was a 4-year-old toddler and annoying him on the job when he was, like, in his late 20s.
And also, isn't he, he's her sensei, too, at one point, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I've not read it that far because I'm bored of it. But I think, yeah.
Yeah, I just
That's all right. Vladdy hasn't even read it at all.
I would just flip through it, and if there's no character that I'm already familiar with, then I just don't read it. I wait until there's a character I'm actually familiar with, and now there's none of them, and I even stopped flipping through it. If there's a character that if they come back to any of the characters that were previously introduced, just tell me, and I'll get back to reading.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't see this one going anywhere either because
I see it going to a courtroom of being an inappropriate teacher.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
It's going straight to jail.
Well, when they're both adults, it wouldn't be,
No, not if they're both adults, but
Yeah.
So yeah, that's still pretty big age gap, and I think you would never see her like this because he knew her since she was a little baby, so
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
really weird.
That'd be weird, yeah.
Also, Yoko got the Operation Manhoofd when she was like 17, so they wouldn't even have a chance to meet when they're old enough. That doesn't matter because Yoko, in the version that being Yoko, never got to live that long.
Yeah.
That's also
Alita did, but that's a different story.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, though, my thought about this whole manga in terms of age differences, it seems to go out the window in some cases. Because, I mean, when you really think about it, now, granted, mentally, Alita is a teenager in the movie, but she is over 300 years old.
Yeah, like,
right.
not
Kinda
counting
weird.
years she spent in a coma, she's in her late teens in the movie and in the beginning of the manga, in her like 30s for most of the manga from volume 6 through Last Order.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a riddle because I mean, is anyone familiar with Avatar: The Last Airbender?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
Aang is like 12. He's mentally a 12-year-old, but he's like 112 because he's frozen in ice, that kind of thing.
Yeah, but mentally and physically 12, so that's what we're going with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alita's, well, physically you can't really guess her age, but
yeah. Well, my thought about this whole age difference, though, and I'm not saying this because I'm older than dirt compared to you guys, but what I'm saying is they have Methuselahization, they got nanotechnology that can
Right.
their cells and stuff, and people can live hundreds
It's a
of
different
years.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Embody tried to impress Songwith, Fakiri, or Cyrilla Songwith, whatever you want to call her, even though she's like 300 years older than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
No,
when it comes to
400.
age-
Sorry.
400. Yeah.
When it comes to age, I know that Zeka in Last Order is around like 90 or something, and he still look like, very
Yeah.
fresh.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think in that kind of future, age doesn't really matter. I think that even Trinidad at some point tells Ping that he renounced like to eternal life and living young forever, something like this. So I think it doesn't really matter. But
Yeah.
I mean, still, a toddler. He knew her when she was a baby.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it might
Embody-
affect things. It's like I said with the vision that Cameron Rodriguez and Kayla Grittis had for KAOS. It's like, well, with Ito kind of being like his adopted father for a time, KAOS would probably just see Alita as like his sister in the film version.
Hyrule
Well-
and Body are definitely in the age range where it's old enough that age doesn't matter, just both adults.
Yeah.
Well,
Except
here's
for
the thing.
us, it's like, oh, okay.
No, you go ahead, Channel. I
Like,
interrupted you.
For us, the age where, well, it doesn't really matter. It's adults, like, from late, in the, well, for them, it's the hundreds. So at this point, just, okay, you're over like 70. Yeah, okay. You're over 70 and under 1,000. Yes, okay, good enough.
Yeah, well, I think the whole thing, though, even in the movie, you remember when Alita and Hugo go into the Kansas bar, Alita's 14 years old in there, maybe 15 tops.
Well, she's using the
That's it, but-
prosthesis.
17.
Well, yeah, I know.
keep
But
She's
what
in
I'm
the
talking
body
about-
that's supposed to
not
look
her age,
14,
Chrissy.
but she's
Wait a minute,
17.
wait a minute.
All right,
wait a minute,
go ahead.
Wait a minute. What
Okay,
I'm
okay.
saying is, whether she's 17 or 14 or whatever, Zapan is in his 30s, and he offers to
Oh.
buy her a drink, and she is a teenager. To me, that would be a little creepy, But it seemed
Yeah.
like in that time period that it was
Yeah.
okay. It didn't matter. Certainly didn't matter to Zapan.
There's
You
no
know,
police, so like people
Also,
don't care.
possibly he assumed that if she has a badge, he didn't check the minimum. Okay, it sounds like I'm defending Japan, but if he assumed that if she has a Hunter Warrior badge, that she must be an adult who just has a body that looks very childish because, well, Total Replacement Star Wars can look whatever they want.
Right. Some of them, a lot of them, unlike the film, a lot of them don't even look human. Like, a lot of these are cyborg guys look like walking cars in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't exactly guess the age of a cyborg just by how they look because they can choose to look 20 forever. So okay, maybe this one chose to look like a little girl.
Well,
Why they
yeah,
I
come
think the fact is that she's a hunter warrior, so you're considered old enough just by that
Well,
measure.
I think also
If you got the license, you're old
Well,
enough.
I think he doesn't care how old she is.
That would be
was my
worse.
thought.
That's also a
I think he would,
possibility.
she was like literally like looked like like really young.
Yes.
If she was a small child, there's no way he'd be offering to buy her a drink.
Oh no, that's right. See,
No, like
there would be a cutoff, but what I'm saying is, once you got to be a teenager of sorts, I don't know what year that would be, but there'd be a point to where it wouldn't matter if a 90-year-old hooked up with an 18-year-old.
Well,
Yeah.
there's also
That
different
would be gross.
standards. There's different standards of adulthood. Like if you're a Himba tribe in Africa and you're taking care of your cattle, you're considered an adult. It doesn't matter if you're a teen, but if you have your cattle that you own, you're considered an adult in that tribe.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess that standard's a lot different. We even saw it in the movie a little bit. But anyway, let's get off of this and get back into the relationship thing. Now I want to go to Zex. Now this is interesting because
They're
Alita
siblings.
Gross, no.
Alita
I
and
would
Zex.
rather have the bunnies together than Alita with Zex.
Well,
The one
that-
character asks them if they're dating, and they're both disgusted by the idea.
they
The
are.
authors of
As
the
a
manga
matter of
knew the fandom would come up with this, and they immediately expressed their
Yeah.
thoughts.
Skip the part.
I think Zex has a purpose because, well, I guess I'll call him his because that's how he wants to be said. Is that his point? Is that he has to kill an Alita or something that looks like her? So maybe his point is in the series he'll eventually kill the Imaginos replica.
which is not going to happen because
He wants. He thinks that he has to kill her in order to become his own person, but he has to. He has to understand that no, he doesn't have to kill her. He doesn't have to be stronger than her. He doesn't have to show he's stronger than her, because even like in terms of like when you see, at some point in chapter of Last Order, you have the presentation of characters with little stats next to them, and actually the power, like the potential and the power of his body, is superior to Alita's body. He just doesn't have the experience nor the technique to use it.
I don't know if that Fitzroy body is more.
Oh no, that's a fact. That's a fact. They're equal. They're equal, if not is stronger. He just has no experience. So this is why he technically isn't stronger than her, because she has more experience.
Well,
but
I don't know about that.
I will show you. I will show. Okay.
No, that's fine. I trust you. If he can give you the screen in a minute. He can give you a screen if you got the panel in. You just have to do it as a PDF because JPEGs don't work on StreamYard for whatever reason, so you need a PDF.
But my camera works. My camera works. My camera works.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you can if you click on a JPEG, if you have something like the photo viewer or something, you can share that. You
actually could if you could put the photo on your screen. If you can put the photo on your screen and we look at your screen, we'll see it. It should work.
Yeah. Hold on.
Go ahead. Just take some time.
Yeah, I won't put that up on the screen there because all you've done is turn on your camera.
Whilst you're killing time, I'm just looking at
Nice bunny ears. Also cat ears.
Yeah.
There are some stunning body pictures I'm looking at.
I like those cat ears, by the way, Matu.
Wow. I'm sorry, my mind is being blown right now.
Don't you have cat ears on? Or is that
I do, but I cut the camera.
Okay.
No.
All right.
Don't worry, we didn't see anything much. Just the ears.
We just saw the ears.
I wasn't looking.
I didn't put it up on the screen, though. I didn't put it up on the screen. I just commented on your cat ears because that's all we can see.
Okay, I'm sending Creek. I'm sending them to you on Twitter.
Okay.
I took 2 pictures.
Okay.
So it's in French, so if you need, I will translate it. But the one called potentiel latent means like their potential.
On ne se débrouillera.
Okay, hold on just a second. Hold on, guys. Let me get to it. Let's see. I gotta do this share screen here to grab this one. Okay.
You can see on 2 there is the one at the full top called puissance, which means power, and right at the left on it it's called potentiel latent, which means the potential, and you can see that Zek's power is equal to Alita's power, and his potential is superior to her potential. And I'm not lying. This is straight up from the manga, so this is straight up from Kichiro. He technically has more potential to explode than her, and is at least as powerful as her, except he doesn't know to exploit it because he has no experience.
Well, my thought is, what is this? What is this graphic? The graph itself. I mean, I can kind of make out a couple of those things, but what does this talk about? Is this the Fitzroy body or is this the Imaginos body it's measuring?
This is the Alita Imaginos body. This is about
This
the
is-
current
yeah.
body, which is the Imaginos 2.0.
Okay.
This is, yeah.
So now that's the Imaginos body. So let me go to the other one, the other thing you sent me.
And this is a Fitzroy body. And you
Yeah,
can
see
see that his power is equal to her power and his potential is above hers, but that he lacks in all the other departments,
Yeah,
which she doesn't.
He lacks in what is that potential for? What's that? That
Dizzy?
kind of, yeah. What is that?
Which one? Which one?
Potential dizzy.
Potentially.
Okay, no, it's like ugly translation. It's like exploited potential.
Okay, now and then there's another one down here. It says finesse.
Smart is dumb. Yeah. It's smart. Is stupid. And then you have experience, resistance, and technique and speed.
The only thing he's maxed out other than potential is puissance.
Puissance and in his resistance. But yeah, and puissance means power.
Vitesse is the same as resistance.
No, vitesse is speed. Resistance is resistance.
I'm saying no, vitesse isn't. It doesn't mean resistance, but it's at the same level.
Oh yeah. Vitesse is speed and resistance, but he is very powerful and has a lot of potential. But he has a lot of potential. He can.
Oh, you cut out.
Also, he has technique almost maxed out, but used exploited potential is still very low.
Well, his technique is probably because he doesn't have the experience, so he hadn't had a chance to train as much.
Like his technique is good.
Yeah, it's good, but it's not as good as Alita's. So I think because I think Alita's technique was better. I think. Let me go back. Let me go back. So you see, her
technique was obviously better, but Alita is not a very good point of comparison because Alita's at this point. Alita at this point has the Fata Morgana and is running on a black hole.
Yeah, and well, that was going to be my question. I could buy that the Fitzroy body would be more powerful than, say, the Imaginos 1.0 or even possibly the 2.0. But when she gets that Imaginos 2.1 body, is it this little graph we see here on her? Is this the 2.0 body? What is this? Because
this is definitely the 2.0. I think it should be the 2.0 because it's the same dress as 2.0.
Yeah, because I think when she has at her disposal the power of the black hole and Melchizedek, she's got access to 2 supercomputers. I think this potential and the speed and all that stuff is going to go off the chart. I mean, it's going to be huge. It's going to be quantum leaps over what you got here.
No, this version. I'm pretty sure already has access to those.
Oh, then this would be Imaginos 2.1 then.
What's the difference between 2.0 and 2.1?
Well, 2.1 is what she came back with when she was fighting Toji. You remember she got blown to bits, and then she got reassembled, and she came back in the Imaginos 2.1 body. Okay,
what is the 2.0 then?
The 2.0 body is what she goes into the Zot with in terms of when she fights, say, Toji at the end. She starts fighting him in the 2.0 body.
Isn't that the 1.1 though?
It could have been the 1.0. I'm not sure. I
am sure that was the one, the Imaginos 1. Imaginos 2 is the one that got the tail.
Yeah, the one that's got the tail is the 2.1.
That has to be the Imaginos 2.
Well, yeah, it is Imaginos 2.0. Does it have a tail? I don't recall that.
Imaginos 2 definitely had a tail. Imaginos 2 later had a tail. Imaginos 1 did not have a tail. And Imaginos 0 was the one in the non-canon ending? Or am I remembering it wrong?
No, I don't know. But I know because I remember.
Too many Imaginos.
No, I remember that Nova said that Alita, when she came back, after she was reassembled, he said that she now has because they were talking about her skill and her, her power and her speed and all that. And Nova said, now this is an Imaginos 2.1 body because it wasn't the same body that he put her together in. So and now that's what I remember from the manga. I don't know. What does that sound right? That's what I remember. I could be wrong about that, obviously. So
it's all way over my head.
What the hell is going on?
Well, I tell you what. Let's get off of this.
Hopefully, Cameron simplifies it a bit.
Okay.
Maybe just have one imaginary body.
Next ship. I forgot I'm on a shipping stream. I somehow forgot that.
Oh, that's all right. No, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Yeah, there's no problem. Let me get this out of here. Okay, there we go. But I do remember this about Zex that we're talking about. He wants to fight Alita after the Zot. You remember that? He says, after this is over, you and I are going to fight. You remember that? Or am I misremembering that as well?
I think I don't remember it happening, but I remember someone else talking about it happening. So it probably did. It sounds like something that would have happened. So I'm assuming it did happen.
Well, they never did fight, but Zex did say after the Zot, after this is over, you and I are going to fight. And she said, okay. She had no problem with that, so.
She's always up for a fight.
Yeah, she is. Well, anyway, getting back to the ship of Alita and Zex, this is
Jesus. Feels like we weren't on that up for ages.
Well, we're not. There's not going to be any kind of ship other than a contentious one. He's only fighting with her in the Zot on that Space Angels team. I don't know, was it for recognition or because it was fun or whatever it was, or just to be near Alita so he could fight her later? I don't know.
He said it was because it was fun. He said wherever there is mayhem, there is Zex. He said it at the beginning that he fight because it's fun, and it's also like sort of a training for him to fight her later, because he said he wanted to fight her twice. The first time was at the beginning of the tournament, and the second one was right before their fight against the Space Karateka, where he said, like, do you remember a promise? And she's like, do you mean about the waffles? And it's like, no, you said you were going to fight me. And she's like, oh, I forgot. Okay. So, yeah.
I love this, the little, I'm not sure if it was in the main manga or if it was in the ending panels where Alita says that she's sorry to Zex, but instead of saying sorry I treated you horribly, sorry I didn't respect you, she just goes on a tangent of, I'm sorry I called you a McDonald's toy with the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's actually in the manga
of an eggplant, and she just keeps listing off and what with this. And you never called me that. Yeah, but I thought that about you.
Yeah.
It's actually in the manga. It's right before he asks her if she remember the promise she made of fighting him, and she's like, "I forgot." So yeah, no, it happens in the manga. That's canon, guys. She slanders him.
Alita, does that mean that Alita off screen at some point before called him and a McDonald's toy of the personality of an eggplant?
Basically, yeah, she called him a cheap ass knockoff copy with no personality, and he's so offended.
Yeah.
Why did we not get to see Alita calling Zex a McDonald's toy? Also, does that imply that McDonald's still exists in the post-apocalypse?
Yeah. Well, it's possible, I guess. Yes, 500-year-old corporation. Yeah, maybe so. Okay. Well, anyway, I think my point with Zex is, we could discuss who is more powerful than the other for sure. But my point with this, that this is not ever going to develop into a romantic relationship. This is only going to be a contentious relationship because Zex wants to fight Alita, and Alita says she's kind of indifferent to it. She'll say, "Oh, okay, I'll fight you if you want." So that's kind of the way I see it, anyway.
Exactly. And there's never going to be more than sibling relationship. I remember I came across like Alita and Zex shipper one day, and I was like, what the fuck? And she was like, no, but they're perfect for each other. Like, what the fuck? Is there siblings?
Yeah.
And I was like, that's disgusting.
Plus, he was killing those ARs, wasn't he?
Yeah.
He was after
Yeah.
that.
Alita wouldn't mind if they met each other in the killing AR phase. It wouldn't be like, what the hell are you doing? It would be like, okay, beat you who kills the most ARs in a week.
Yeah.
It would become a contest.
Yeah, it would. Okay, I guess we can move off of Alita and Zex because that's not going to happen. What about Koyomi and Shimira?
That's never gonna happen either. Age
Yeah.
difference
Assuming
and
Age difference.
In the movie, in the
Yeah,
manga, obviously it's not gonna happen because Shimira's already got a husband, and Shimira's in her late teens. About she's maybe early 20s when Koyomi's a toddler. So
yeah. Well, in the movie they would be equal though, but my take would be is I don't see Shimira being bisexual or gay. She's not. She's got 10 kids. It was at 10 or 8 or 12. I don't remember how many, but she had a whole bunch of kids with that one guy, and Koyomi is not, to me, she doesn't strike me as after anybody. Maybe in the movie, perhaps Tanji, but in the manga, not so much. So
this is Maxi's ship.
Yeah, I don't see this happen. Now I could see them being friends. I definitely could see that.
I don't see Koyomi wanting this many kids.
No. Yeah, I don't see Koyomi wanting any kids. Whereas
I don't see Koyomi wanting anything. I don't see Koyomi at all.
Yeah. This is not. Yeah, I agree. This is not going to happen. But I just
even if you took time warps because of the movie, teen Koyomi, mid-teens Koyomi and late-teens Shimira, they would be. Koyomi would get easily annoyed with Shimira because Shimira is a sweetheart, but she's dumb.
Yes.
And Koyomi is really ambitious. So
Yeah.
she would feel like she's just dragging Shimira around.
Yes. I think they'd be friends, but I don't think Koyomi
Shimira would be like Shimira would be like Koyomi's oblivious little cheerleader.
Yes.
I have no idea what my girlfriend is doing, but I support her.
Yeah, I don't see it being a girlfriend type thing because I think Shimira she's not gay or bisexual. So I don't think that's going to happen. I think the only way this would turn out is they might be friendly acquaintances, maybe, because remember, Shimira is Joshigan's sister, and Koyomi is somewhat, involved or somewhat attached to Motorball in some ways, from jacking and stuff like that. And she probably knows some of the Motorball players, so they'll probably know each other for sure.
Oh God, it would get awkward.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, I agree.
If even worse, if we assume if Joshigan lived and ended up with Alita, and also if we went with Maxi's ship and Shimira ended up with Koyomi. Yeah. How awkward would that be for Koyomi? If anything happens to Shimira, she is fucked.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that would go well for her. But I think Alita and Koyomi would be friends, because I think they knew each other. Mm-hmm. Like in the movie,
they would have stayed friends if Koyomi didn't become a terrorist.
Yeah.
I mean, excuse me, but when you read the manga and you read Alita's past, she can't judge. She really can't judge. She was a terrorist too.
Yeah. Okay, I think we hit that one enough because I don't think that's a ship that's ever going to be anything more than maybe a friendly acquaintance. I was going to make a
joke about characters being terrorists, but then when you make about characters just being terrorists in their backstories, but there's really not that many of them.
Yeah.
And then I thought back to was Velma ever terrorist? No, Velma had a bigger problem with her backstory. What do you do if you have a character that was that's live alive in the present or future, but that was immortal enough that they were alive during the world wars? How do you write them out of the world wars?
Yeah.
Well, she was in some village in the middle of nowhere, Japan. Or was she working for the mafia or something like in the Japan or something like that?
Yeah, or Yakuza, you mean? Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to remember what her backstory even was. Something like that.
Well, let's move on. I think we can lump the next two together, Ito and Esdoc or Ed, and Ito and Joshigan. I think that relationship is going to be strictly professional.
Yeah. I didn't even know. I see him having a friendly relationship with Joshigan, but
Yeah.
I don't even remember him talking to Ed.
Yeah, well, they probably knew each other because Ed was a mechanic and Ito at one point was a tuner, so they probably knew each other, but but I think Ito, well, in the manga, Ito actually becomes Joshigan's tuner, I guess. And Ed becomes Alita's tuner, I guess, and or Esdoc rather. So they probably knew each other as competitors, even, Ito and Esdoc, so that they probably knew each other that way too. But my point is, I think this one would be strictly professional. They wouldn't be friends. I don't even think Ito and Joshigan would be friends in the truest sense of the word. Now, granted, Joshigan asked Ito if he would marry Shamira, after he dies or something like that, and Ito says, "Oh my God, no!" She's, there was a big age difference there, I guess. That even too much for Ito to handle at that point. But Joshigan wanted somebody to take care of Shamira, is what he wanted, because I kind of agree with Matu. Shamira is kind of dumb. She's not, she's not the brightest bulb in the bunch, as they would say. So.
Very cute though.
Yeah, but
Very
she is.
She's
Cute.
got the brightest fish in the tank.
She is.
Right.
She's got that ooh, that's for sure, though. So, what about Ito and Kana, though? Now, there's a possibility. Do you think?
Oh, I
Yeah,
went on a tangent about that last stream.
I see them really more as daughter father. She sees him as a daughter, as a father figure, and he sees her like it's the exact same way he used to see Alita. Sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, Galley's also an acceptable name for her. Both are canon.
Yeah, but most people know her by Alita.
Yeah,
because that's what she's in the. That's what her name is in the movie, and a lot of people came here from the movie.
Yeah,
some people don't like using Alita.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of the folks that read the manga that are really
it's normally just like moody French manga fans.
Excuse me, what?
What is Galley? What are you doing?
Excuse me. Excuse me. Here we are just extremely respectful of the source material.
No, that is true. Yeah, no, I do respect it. I respect passion.
No, I'm joking. Like, I really grew used to Alita now, but when the movie first, got released, I was like, okay, I understand they called her Alita because the movie is produced in USA by people who read it in English, but I was so mad at the French translation that they didn't rename her Gali, but it wouldn't have made sense. And then as a sign of, angry gatekeeping, purist protester, I was like, no, I'm going to keep calling her Gali, and no, I just call her whatever.
Well, for me, it was like I saw the movie first, then I read the manga. So for me, it was like, well, who's this Galley person, and where is this Gary thing coming from?
Elle s'appelle Gali. Alita, je ne sais pas quoi. Qu'est-ce que c'est? C'est qui ça? Ce n'est pas notre Gali.
What she said.
Exactly. Damn, your French is good, girl.
Yeah, it is.
Damn. Now, like, I read the manga when I was 12, and I got really heavy into it when I was like 16 or 17. Because when I was 12, I had a phase with other manga first. But yeah, I've known the manga since I was 12. So for me, it always has been Gali.
Mm.
But yeah, Alita, yeah.
Yeah.
So what were we talking about? Yeah, Ito and Kana.
Ito and Kana, yeah. Yeah, I agree that I think they're kind of like Ito and Alita, or Galley or Gary, that it's more like a father-daughter type relationship, So yeah, I think so. Well, what about Nova and Queen Lamira?
I wonder where does this even come from?
How did this end up on the list, but not Ito and Nova?
This is a Maxi thing right here. I think Maxi put them together just to see what.
No, I think I know why he put them together, because when Nimela sorry, spoiler for people who didn't read Mars Chronicle, but honestly, it's been a while. That's on you now. Limela got her head like blown up, and it's Nova who fixes her. So I think that comes from this, because in the Mars Chronicle event, in the event that Kishiro said that happened after the tournament, that he never kept on continuing, and I'm really frustrated. Nova is working like not even Nova. I think it's like the Supernova, the one with the big afro haircut. He lives on Mars and he works. Yeah, and he lives on Mars, and I think he works for like the Martian government or something. Like he lives on Mars and he practices like his weird stuff on Mars. So I think that comes from that.
I asked, does he work for the government? I thought Mui said that he was annoying because he could no corporation or like big government could get him to work directly for them. Like he couldn't.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Translation.
I'm not sure. You know, Mars Chronicle. Like I read it because I'm a gun fan, but I don't like it. So I don't really like. I did not retain like half of the information it gives.
I'm trying to respond to Finn out there. He's got a.
I don't think the fact that he might have possibly done surgery on her is enough reason to ship them.
Well, I think he was doing it just for grins and giggles. I think, you know.
No, but you know the rule. You know the rule of a fandom. If the character looked at each other or looked in the general direction of each other, they're a ship. It's the rule.
Ido and Nova are a better ship than Nova and Chimera. And yes, I did have a Nova and Ido fan. I did write a Nova and Ido fanfic that I never published. In fact, multiple. In fact, they were.
How many
unpublished ones have you got?
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised of the number of fanfiction and of fanarts I've seen of Ido and Nova.
I mean, like one person was complaining on Tumblr that they tried to publish an Ido and Shirin fanfic, but the only suggested ships were Ido and Alita and Ido with Nova. Oh, and Shirin with Alita.
Yeah.
The problem is that it's a fandom that is mostly made of people who are not into that kind of fun and stuff. Like the demographic is too niche and too, I would like to say grown up, but there is no age for that. But the demographic of people who write fan fiction is not exactly the one touched by Alita and Gun, sadly.
Hey,
to my great
Matthew, yes? I'm not grown up yet.
I'm not grown up either, but like, you know what I mean? Like actually in France, most people I met that were fan of what?
You said you're not grown up either.
Oh no, I'm grown up. I'm going to turn 30 on Sunday.
Oh, nice!
Ooh, happy birthday!
Okay. Happy birthday, Matthew.
No, sorry, I just have a squeaky voice. I thought you younger.
Thank you. That makes me really happy. People also say that when they see me. I look younger, I sound younger, I behave like an adult, but trust me, mentally, I'm not 30. I may be like 17 at most. No, but
such a squeaky voice.
We have to do a mass tweet on Sunday. Happy birthday to Matthew.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that would make me very happy. Thank you.
We'll do that.
What I was saying is that was most of the fan I met in France actually were most geek men in their like late 30s or early 40s who were not, the kinds that would write fan fiction or draw fan arts. Some would make fan arts, but not, it's not the kind of people who would be into fan fiction and shipping and stuff. This is a demographic that is completely different and that sadly the manga and the movie do not touch, which is very sad.
Well, I know one thing. I'm an 8,000-year-old power lifter, and I wrote a fanfic. So.
Yeah, but you were rare jam. No, like there are like grumpy old men who would like act. So no, like I don't know how to explain it, but back in the day, me and my ex used to run a Facebook page and a Facebook group, and we have something. We had something like almost 2,000 people in the gun group,
Nice.
And it was people, asking questions about the manga or the OVA or sharing their collection. And it was like really mostly middle-aged men that acted like they were so much better than everyone because they liked that manga, or that would like belittle people or ask, very dumb question. And when you would reply to them, they would not even listen to you because you were younger girls or stuff like this. And most of the fan I met in the French fandom were like this. Of course, not all of them. I know that, Creaky, I tagged you on one of my pals' tweet recently because he's a gun fan and he's French. And he's the kind to make fan arts and write fanfic and be a geek and, not be like, absolutely not like I just described. But most of the fan I described were, men who were trying to be so cool and being like, oh, I'm so special because I like this manga and I'm so better than everyone else. And when there was a movie announced, they would just like spend an entire time shitting on the name Alita. And be like, oh, the kind of gatekeepers, very purist people that were like, oh, but nothing is better than the manga because it is pure source material and stuff like this. It was so annoying.
Yeah, it's just a story, folks. I mean, seriously. And of course, just because somebody's older doesn't mean they're better either. I mean, I know.
Tell that to
I know people that are my age that are pretty fucking stupid. So,
tell that to anyone in Podhale. Tell that to anyone in Podhale because they have a very strong culture of if you're higher on the family tree, then you deserve respect.
Yeah, no, same in my country, especially when it comes to nerds and geeks and gamers. Like, they think that because they're older and they have experienced more diversity and stuff, they're so much better than you. Because, oh, for my time, it was way better than all this crap you have now. And sadly, you have that even in the geek and nerd demographic, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
So being a younger woman, and being younger than them, oh my God, I can tell you, I'm not taken seriously.
No, I don't.
The absurdity is that
I don't like that.
Age, but it's not even just age; it's just higher on the family tree. So if you're the same age as someone, but because you're like third cousins, they're technically your uncle, even if they're like a little younger than.
Yeah.
Well,
no,
you're still supposed to respect them like your uncle, even if they're 2 years younger than you.
I don't agree with that shit. I think everybody that. Now I'm going to get off of this because we want to get back to the topic. But I think anybody that's intelligent and they have knowledge, everybody's deserving of respect. Now, maybe older people may have more experience, but that doesn't make them better. It just means they're older. That's what it means.
More experience at the subject makes you better. Just not more. Just the idea that more experience at any subject makes you better at every subject.
No,
so like if you have more experience generally being alive, then yes, you probably have way more a lot of good advice. But just because
she cut out.
Because you're older and have more experience being alive doesn't mean you're better, for example, immediately at cooking than or for example that you're immediately better at computer science in a specific program that you've never ever touched because you're older.
And there's also the fact that since they have more experience in something, they would literally treat you like an idiot when you don't have experience instead of sharing.
Wait a minute. No, that doesn't make you better. I mean, okay, you might know more on a subject than somebody else, but that doesn't make you better. It just means...
the idea is that you are better, even if you have zero experience in a specific subject, just because you're older, and the universal experience pours into that subject, and you're better at it.
Yeah. Well, let's get off. Let's get off of this and get back to the topic. The producer wants to get back to the topic. So what about Nova and Queen? I said that. Nova and Elfin Swerve.
Oh, they definitely screwed. Like the way they're dressed and they're acting as his bodyguards. Oh, the guy went freaky with them. I'm sure of it.
Yeah. To him, they're probably like, they may be like his daughters. He might think of them as that.
Gross,
or as his slaves. He might think of them as that. Yeah.
He sees them as his dolls, his slaves, his toys, I think.
Yeah, I think that's right. When
I first saw them, I had this weird... when I first
I
tried to
think
take a good look at them, they look like if someone's trying to do a fusion design of Eli and Alita, and it would make sense if this was what he was going for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what if the woman I'm constantly obsessing over crossed over with my dead girlfriend ×2?
Now those two have berserker bodies, don't they? Elf and Swerve. They don't they?
No, they don't. They don't have berserker's body. They have tuned body.
No,
They're
they
not
have
berserker's body.
Oh, they got. That's right. They got
Probably.
tuned bodies because that's right. They're 11 and 12. That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. Duh.
They
Okay.
have tuned bodies. Are they still in tuned bodies though?
Yeah.
The only tune that has no longer a tuned body is Zex when he acquires a Fitzroy body.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, like I'm pretty sure tuned are not made for fucking. So if you wanted to fuck them, they would be some modifications needed.
Well,
I mean, they can technically. Alita, when she has a tuned body, was still with Foggia. Well, Figure. Sorry, Foggia is in French. Was still with Figure, and I'm pretty sure they did the nasty thing, so they could totally shag in tuned bodies.
Oh, don't say that in front of Lottie. He might it might hurt his feelings. That figure 4 and Alita did their thing.
I'm happy for them.
Yes, I am too. And the Creek, who
There's
is
ways to get
wait a minute, the Creek, who is Alita's uncle, approves of figure 4 and Alita.
Yeah, that's a great relationship.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We'd all happily have him round for like Christmas dinner.
Yeah. Oh, here's the thing. What I really love about this too, about those two. Of course, we kind of talk. Oh, there's KAOS is back. What I kind of like
Hello.
about
I got the app, so it's easier to just.
They got to
be
the
a
Nova
streamer.
with Elf and Wolf. Did Nova fuck them?
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. But anyway, what I really like about Alita and Figure 4 is that interview that Rosa did, where she is really looking forward in the sequel to meeting Figure 4. You know, she really loves that. You know, and I said yes when she said that. You know, my feelings for Rosa went up tenfold after that. So anyway, it's pretty cool. So. Okay, well, let's move on because we agree that Nova and Elf and Swerve are going to be like some kind of weird, creepy father, parental, slave.
There is no paternal relationship.
There is no relationship.
They're not kids.
Now here's some what if relationship.
No, this is not. There is no paternal relationship. Nova had a paternal relationship with Gem. Definitely not with Nova. Definitely not with the tuned. Sorry.
Okay, that's all right. Well, we've moved off of that there channel, so you can rest now. So, oh boy, that's cool. Okay, well, look, there's a bunch of things that Alita can actually have different relationships.
I'm very.
Why?
And a lot of them aren't going to work.
Let Matthew speak.
Alita and Deckman.
Well, I don't have that one up there, but I
Did
don't
you just
see
type
that
in random
one.
Do you mean AR or something in Deckman?
No, the Deckman.
What is that list?
The Deckman. Yeah, Deckman.
Funny.
Deckman, like number 100. Deckman 100. Yeah.
Well,
No.
remember,
I mean, I know what a Deckman is. They're like in the manga. They're like the thing with huge lips, and they look like you would just going to punch them.
I feel sorry for him.
Computers with brains inside of them. It's disgusting.
well, here's the thing, though. A reason why Alita is not ever probably. If you remember that one side story, Alita actually assassinates one of those Deckmen.
Yep.
So I don't know. That's not much of a relationship.
I don't
What do
think the
you think?
Deckmen
would like it. Alita would be.
The Deckmen aren't really capable of much, anyways, because their brain functions are mostly gone. They're basically just using the brain as a computer.
All they can say is violation, and a couple of other
Deckman,
phrases.
I thought you were talking about the Deckman that got upgraded to be Alita's like fixer-upper, and he follows her around.
Oh, that was.
And she
No,
kind
I
of
meant
writes
the
him
crash
sometimes.
He's a whole character in his own, and poor guy get victimized by the entire cast of the manga.
Well, Vladi, one thing the Deckman can say is state your business.
Yeah, that's another one.
They can say that.
Why does he keeps calling everybody master? The one he actually talks. The one that says Alita.
Yeah.
Also, Alita
Because
just riding him around is kind of cute.
Well, in the anime, the Deckmen seem to have a little more personality than they do in the movie or the manga. But I guess
Deckman 100 has personality. He took control of a city.
yes.
Yes, that's true. At the end, yeah,
Wow.
I forgot that.
He did it to distract himself from the fact that no one wanted to kiss him.
Yeah, I remember that.
Oh my
And
God!
when you
Who
said
would
it,
want
when he
to?
said,
Who would
"Oh, I
want
would smooch him on the head, not on the lips, but I would be nice to him because he makes me
Yeah.
sad."
Yeah.
Elfins both stuck with him because they were bored. Maybe
Yeah.
they'd be willing to kiss him because they're both androids, so maybe like they can. Maybe it's less gross to them.
Well, what do you guys think about any of those possible relationships under Alita there? Starting from Karula going all the way down to Zapan. What do you think?
None. No, I mean we talked about Zapan. We talked about
Yeah.
Zapan on the live stream, but
Yeah.
honestly, other than this, none.
No
Yeah.
good thoughts.
No, I look
I
at it
just
like, yo, ludzie z zupełnego przypadku. You just typed in random. Did you just type in random names there?
No, I picked them out because in some ways, Alita has had interaction with them. I mean, she actually fights Karula. Her and Koyomi are in the movie. They're kind of like friends. She, certainly confronts
Alita
Embody.
Are Alita and Tanji getting shipped too?
I'm sorry.
But
Oh,
Tanji's
no.
gone. What?
What? Yeah, I didn't hear you.
I heard.
Alita and who channel?
Don't.
Tanji, but he's gone.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's history. Yeah, he's dead.
I
So
mean, I mentioned in text comments that maybe Koyomi would be different, but that's because he's not. Because with the way they're doing things in the film, Chaos
Yeah.
isn't like 15 years older than her anymore.
Yeah, that's right. And
Why do ships have to be only like where people are alive like now? You know what I mean? Like, why can't they just be
Exactly.
set earlier in the timeline?
Yeah.
Well, it could be. I mean, yeah, it
Like-
could be. Yeah, she could have a relationship with Tanji, but I think in the novelization,
That would be an awkward love
Tanji.
triangle, wouldn't it?
Tanji is nothing more than he has contempt for Alita. I think in a lot of ways in the novelization, for
He's
one
just
reason she
jealous
kicked
that
his.
Hugo got a better girlfriend, and also that Hugo's girlfriend. He's just jealous that Hugo got a girlfriend before he did.
Well, I
Yeah.
think though in the novelization, he's also pissed off because Alita kicked his butt on the street motorball game, and kind of sent him flying, and then slam dunked the motorball into that receptacle, whatever that thing was, and he never got over that in the novelization, so he didn't like
How
her.
petty is this man?
He's pretty petty.
So is this the last slide, or is Vector
This is-
and Chaos somewhere else?
I don't have Vector and
Ve-
Chaos, but you see where it says any others down at the bottom? We can talk about those.
I mean, well, Vector and Chaos is like a boss and an employee kind of thing. Partners,
Yeah, I
business
think so.
partners. It's not more complicated than that.
Yeah. Well, what about Koyomi and Chaos?
I mean, like I said earlier, it was only in text, is that,
Yeah.
Chaos isn't like 15 years older than Koyomi anymore.
Yeah.
So, maybe. I don't know.
I think
I'm just saying in the film.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, in the
very
film, I think.
one-sided. It's
Well,
a-
I think Koyomi would view Chaos much the way Alita does. I mean, she would probably be annoyed that he whines and stuff
In
like
the-
that.
In the
the
manga,
movie.
she.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, because in the manga she has a clear crush on him.
Yeah.
In the manga, she's really obsessed with him until she meets him in person and decides he's pathetic. So, like,
Yeah.
it's a
Well, the
celebrity
interesting
crush
thing is
that's
does-
not getting
does-
reciprocated. She gains he gets it back into her attention when he's in the Last Order, when he's actually getting this shit together, and he's still not interested in her. So it's a one-sided relationship that would be creepy as hell if the genders were swapped.
Yes.
But here's
Yeah.
the thing: does she ever know that the other guy and him are the same person?
I don't think she
Because
does.
it only
does she?
feels to me like Jimmy Olsen from Superman.
She does not. If she did know that,
She's
she
a
would be
redhead who
absolutely.
takes pictures on the camera. Okay.
Yeah.
If Koyomi knew, she would be absolutely trying to force Chaos to turn back into Den.
Well, she definitely was sympathetic to the Barjack, wasn't she? So
She was their mascot.
yeah. Okay, what about Ito and Eli? I mean, there was that one section in the manga where Eli starts
Eli's just
hitting on him.
using. She's just using him. That's it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
no. Yeah, I agree. There's no
Eli
relationship.
and Nova just
there,
wanted a threesome.
but- Yes.
Yeah. Besides, she would not be his type of woman. He would like more classy and refined women. And Hila is hot, but she's trashy, not classy.
Yeah, that's right.
So hard.
I like that. I like that. Eli is trashy but not classy. I like that. That's nice.
That's Dua Lipa's future role. You've got to be respectful of it. She's very classy.
Yeah, she is.
Who says classy? She's at the intersection of classy and trashy.
Yes,
The perfect balance, I'd say.
I think so. Yeah, I don't think there's a relationship at all. I kind of agree that Eli was just using Ito. You know, although she was hitting on him pretty hard. So I think
Gotta get him before he realizes how bad of an idea this is. Like if you
Finn-
play it slow, Ito's gonna realize this is a horrible idea. If she gets him on quickly, then they might have a shot.
yes.
I
Finn,
think things are going to change if you're talking about the film, Finn.
yeah, they are.
A lot of
They're-
things will be different. Like I don't.
Yeah.
I with the way Cameron and Caleb Gridis were talking about it, it would seem that Chaos wouldn't even flirt with her probably because it's like, well, your dad is Ito. Ito's kind of my dad, or foster dad, anyways. So who
yeah.
knows?
And Finn, I think you mean Koyomi in Figure 4 is what I
No,
think.
figure
you mean.
5, Alita and figure 4's baby. Or maybe like Figure's younger brother.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Alita and Figure's Figure's too old for Koyomi. Alita and Figure's child would be too young for Koyomi. But if Figure has a younger brother,
Yeah.
then that could be the right age for Koyomi.
Yeah. Finn, Eli is Nova's girlfriend, basically, and
Well-
lab assistant. Yeah.
Girlfriend more than
Concubine.
assistant, and yeah. I would not
Sultry
call
assistant.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what about
He
Nope.
doesn't expect her to be Eli to be faithful to her, anyways.
yeah?
It's called an open relationship, and also
I was thinking Brides
look at
of Dracula.
him. He cannot swing. Just look at Nova. He has no chance of swinging any higher than this.
I was thinking Brides of Dracula, given how Eli's cruel and she tortures people to death.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Because the whole Bride of Dracula thing is like his harem of females also prey on people too.
Well, I know one thing. If you're a single guy and you see Eli, proceed with caution because she's got uwu, but boy, she could definitely make a mess out of you. So
I'd say she's out of Nova's league, but the fact that she's such a that she's this much of a horrible human brings her a league down into his league. So she's the highest he could swing.
I think.
And
so.
also, he keeps her
It's in
being
his best interest not to make a mess. It's in his best interest to keep the relationship open, so she doesn't. So he doesn't lose a sexy bodyguard.
One look at Eli, I'm making a mess of myself.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, what about Nova and Joshigan or Embody?
what? Or Nova and him, Betty? They're a gay romance.
Yes.
They're beautiful. No.
All Joshigan wanted was to get his brain. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. That's all he wanted.
Joshigan
Yeah.
and Nova are out. No.
Well, I mean, Embody wanted to rip Nova's brain out and give himself the extra chip in his head. That's it.
Oh, that's different.
Yeah, that's all that was. Yeah, I think Joshigan saw Nova as a means to an end. By the way, Finn, it's Nova's girlfriend, and it's in my mind, it's really weird relationship.
Just
So anyway.
listen, Creek. It's called Brides of Dracula. If you
Yes.
like this
My question
movie.
is-
Oh, I saw that
Did-
movie. Yeah.
Did Nova somehow get a hot girlfriend, or was Eli kind of ugly? And because Nova's good with nanotech, he made her pretty like a plastic
yeah.
surgery,
It's unhealthy
private plastic
dependency.
surgery.
Unhealthy
Could
dependency.
be.
I don't know, guys, but if you remember at some point when Gali is in the weird dream stuff, at some point she's with Nova and he takes off his glasses, and Nova and Gun is not half bad, is rather, kinda nice,
The same dream, she asked him if he ever loved anyone. He goes, well, there's this one woman I really wanted to dissect.
Yes. Oh my God, yes.
What a freak.
Yes.
Well, at least it sounds like she got away from him. Good.
Yep. Okay, what about Zex and Elf and Swerve?
Well, with Nova
Oh
and
my God.
Embody.
That,
Okay, with Nova and Embody, can I add one more thing?
Yes.
The sheer
go for it.
size difference. Like,
Yeah.
there's like a
Yeah.
there's like a foot of size difference. Embody's really freaking tall.
Yeah, he is.
you
And
know,
Nova's kind of a manlet.
Channel, everything is a toy if you're brave enough.
Yeah.
But like,
I say, yeah.
Let's move on.
Embody's 222 centimeters according to the height chart. Nova
Yeah.
is 170 centimeters maybe.
Yeah.
If you don't
Yeah,
count the
but-
giant hair.
Yes, but Nova is not scared of danger.
There's half a meter of size difference there.
Yeah, Body's like 8 feet tall, isn't he? Or 9 feet.
It's 7
even.
feet
Nova's
something.
probably just into that.
Yeah.
There's half a meter of size difference.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Okay,
that's-
When
Okay,
it
what
comes
about-
to
okay. Go ahead. No, you go ahead,
Go.
Matthew.
no,
Nova's definitely not afraid of that.
you go ahead, because we're going to talk about Zex with Elf and Wolf, and I've
Yeah,
got a
that's-
lot to say about that.
All
Okay,
right. Yeah,
so-
go for it.
my head canon, like when Zex has his female body, he doesn't give a shit about them, and they kind of see him like kind of like a sister. But and I see them as kind of a sibling. But this is where I might get weird. Okay, when he get his male body, they get all like squeaky, like, oh my God, look, oh so hot, oh my God, and like. And they hold on to his arm, and like they, later in the manga you see they keep teasing him like kind of you do like a brother. But my really weird headcanon, considering the beginning when they see him in his hot male body, would be like they teamed up on him and were his first.
Oh.
So you're saying it's possible then?
Yeah, I didn't say that was right, but I mean we have there's also that, like, this weird joke when Zex still has his cannon for arm, and he sticks it out, and is like, and the girl like, oh my God, it's so fast, it's so fast, and like, yeah, and the shooting is also faster and whatever. And they're in the background like, if he shoots fast, it's not good. And the other one like, yeah, but he can do it over and over and over. And Zex is like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I just find that French really funny.
Well, for
It's
me,
one thing to make gross sex jokes about your brother, and another thing to actually act on them.
yeah, that's right. Well,
Yeah, no, I said that I had a weird canon. I didn't say that was right. And also, like, I've seen a fair share of hentai of him with them, and I was like, you know what, maybe. But yeah, I kind of see him like the big brother, and there's an annoying little twin sister that constantly get on his nerves, and that keeps doing it because the more they tease him, the more he gets angry. So what they do works, so they're going to keep on doing it. Just like when they scribble on his face, and that part just cracks me up all the time.
Yeah, I think Zex doesn't give a shit about them. I just think he.
Oh no, he doesn't.
He just
doesn't.
sees them as annoying or something.
Yeah, he sees them as annoying, and he see when he fights against the Starship cult, and the clown guy, I don't remember his name, Jack something like this. He turns like with hypnosis. It turns one of them into a boomerang, and Zex doesn't kill her, and he's like, back in the day, I would have killed her, but even if she's so stupid, she's still my teammate. And he's like, oh my God, I'm getting softer. And I was like, oh, that's character development there. So yeah, he doesn't care that much. He doesn't care that much about them, but he cares enough not to kill them and recognize they're on his team.
Yeah. Plus, he's only 2 years old, so he's not mentally. there
He's
yet.
1 year and he's 1 year and 5 months actually. He
Yeah,
says it when he
okay.
fights against Zeka.
Yeah.
I kind of upset that Zeka and Zex is not a ship in the list, by the way.
So this is not going to happen. Zex and Elfenswerf is a threesome. That's not going to happen.
Let's hope it doesn't. I'm still reminded of that friend who shipped Ido, Nova, and Eli, like genuinely shipped as an OT3.
Yeah, that's too creepy for me.
I'm just going to go off topic and say
I don't
they
even
killed
mind
Lou.
that.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, it is.
Like a lot of those ships are wrong.
They killed.
Yeah, a lot of these. Well, the Creek came up with these, so that's except for the Alita in Japan. We remember we did talk about that. I think you mentioned that.
What I want to know how it happened. How is Alita and Vector an option?
Because, well, for one thing, Alita finally meets Vector in his office and she kills him. You know, that's in the movie.
Yes, so they're a ship, you know.
So that relation,
they could have met under different circumstances.
Possibly, but that particular relationship, at least in the office, didn't last very long, even as bad as it was. So anyway, that's how that happened, Channel. Anyway,
Is
That's
there
not a
another
ship.
slide after that? Is there
She
another
also
slide?
found Gerwishka in that office, and Gerwishka's not on the list of shipping candidates.
yeah. Well, I got any others at the bottom. If you guys think Alita and Gorishka,
Yeah,
holy shit.
I've got another ship I want to talk
Diana.
about.
Okay,
I've got it. I want to talk about, like, for me, one of the best ship, one of the best romance that could have been. It's Zex and Zeka. Like, look at them. Look at the way they look at each other. There is so much tension between them. They say they want to fight, but they want a different kind of fight.
Yeah.
No, like, in all seriousness, like, I used to ship them when I was a teen because I was into that kind of stuff, and their dynamic of rivalry and he kind of, you know, Zex is, for me, is like kind of tsundere, you know. He clearly looks up to him like kind of the master or the mentor he never had. But he also has, like, he refuses to admit this, and he wants to, just like with Alita, he wants to be stronger, so he wants to defeat him. And Zeka, I think in Zex, sees kind of himself when he was younger, and kind of, like, you know, that younger generation that is going to take after him. So he, like, they have that kind of, you know, rivalry and teacher-student relationship that is kind of, you know, a bit weird and in their own way that I find really nice and interesting. But honestly, that's a missed opportunity. Yeah, that comment I didn't understand. Like, Zex and Erika, like, they don't know each other, but like, why not when it comes to personality? But Zex and Karula,
you go with Erika.
Yeah, but like Zex and Karula, they literally, like, they never met, they never talked, and she would never even looked in his direction. So I don't get it.
Yeah,
Embody and Karula.
Embody does try to impress Karula, doesn't he? He's I didn't have that up there. That's a good point there, Channel. Yeah, Embody and Karula, because I think Embody's got a thing for Karula.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. He's expired.
Yeah, that's right.
No, but like in their backstory, are they an exes that?
Yes.
Are they exes? Because
no, I think they were friends, but considering the backstory, I would buy that ship. Yeah.
Possibly,
basically, everything is a ship.
Well, I think Embody really has a thing for Karula, but Karula doesn't have anything for Embody. Kind of like Alita and KAOS. You know, KAOS has a thing for Alita, but Alita really doesn't really see him that way, just as a friend, you know, or respect him, you know. So one I don't have up here, which is a creep messed up on this one, which is not a what if relationship, because it is a relationship. That'd be Alita and Erika. They definitely is a relationship, but it's kind of an established one.
Definitely not romantic.
Yeah, they're kind of like sisters, although they're not really sisters. they were toddlers, I guess, or little kids on Mars. Who was that guy that drove that van that picked them up and took them to New Caledonia, or not Caledonia, what the hell's the name of that place? That where Alita and Erica ended up. You know, he drove them there. You remember? That's in Mars.
I don't remember the name of the guy. I'm not sure I remember his face, but yeah. I see what you mean. I see what you're talking about.
So they're like, yeah, they're more like sisters, I think. Alita and Erica, although they seem to want to fight each other all the time, or at least Erica wants to fight Alita all the time. I think Alita certainly will fight her, but I don't think she really thinks about Erica that much, except as maybe remembering her as a sister figure or something like this, I guess. And Alita
or regretting leaving her for dead.
Well, Alita actually kills Erica, doesn't she? I mean, and then Erica comes back as a necro soldier. So
yeah, poor Alita can never catch a break because everyone always want to fight her.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I agree with you, Finn. I think the Creek really loves Figure 4 in terms of that. I think that's perfect for Alita. You know, I think because they're both warriors. They're both similar in a lot of ways. You know.
I see it as a rival thing.
It is.
Like you know, it's like I don't know what you call it. Ash and Gary in Pokemon. They're just trying to prove who's better.
But they do love each other, though. So I mean,
yeah,
they do that. So. And if you remember when Alita leaves Figure 4 and she's going to go off, you know, to do her thing, you know, remember she tells Figure 4 that she's got to go do, he says, go do your day job. And Alita says, okay, no cheating. In other words, don't sleep with any other girls while I'm gone. So, you know, they do love each other, I think.
And actually like
to go, well, it's not cheating if it's for information with chaos.
Nah, it didn't go that far. It's okay.
Well, when it comes to loving each other, you can see it at the end of Last Order when Figure wants to go on, like, to look for her, and the way he looks for her and the way he looks happy when he thinks he found her, but it was not. Like, he talks to his grandpa, and his grandfather is like, "Oh, so you still plan on marrying your cyber girlfriend?" And he's like, "Oh, you're annoying me," but yeah, he plans to actually marry her.
Yeah.
Also, the guy his grandfather, I think that, you know, your parents would be disappointed if they knew you were marrying a girl who can't have kids.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think with technology being what it is in the 26th century, they could have kids. I mean,
I will explain to you exactly why they will. At the end of Last Order, I don't know if you remember, but you know, Gali at some point realized that what was inside her head was not a brain, but a brain chip.
Yes.
And she actually, you know, at the end, she goes herself like on Mars, but the one who stays with Figure is like the quote unquote the real one with her brain, and she has her body reconstructed from her brain. So yeah, she's now 100% organic, and now she can have kids with him.
It'd be a really cruel joke of fate. It turns out that Alita's just infertile.
Yeah,
she's just genetically infertile.
Well, yeah. I think with
possible.
I think with Alita in Last Order, though, the cyber Alita, I think she's an android. So yeah, I think.
No, like if it turns out that the human Alita, they print her a perfect body from her genetics, like except for the fact that without the cancer, and she's like, and it turns out she's just genetically infertile.
Well, I think with Alita,
that we saw.
Weren't built the right way. It happens.
Well, I do think, though, that Alita, if she had any DNA in the cyber body, which I don't know if she does in Last Order.
In the brain.
Well, she's just talking about, you know, does she have eggs or anything, which is kind of a thing.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, though, is if she has DNA, at the level of technology they would have, because if they can bioprint a body, they can take, you know, two cells, you know, one from Figure and one from Alita, and merge them and produce a kid, you know, that way, you know, I think they could do it.
I had that in a fanfiction. Like, I was writing 100 million fanfiction when I was a teen, and the one with the character I used to, and I still kind of do ship with X, I made them have kids thanks to technology.
Yeah, exactly. You can always do that.
Yeah, because the technology is advanced for sure.
So many possibilities with the technology,
Yeah,
including like what you can do with shipping and stuff.
yeah.
Oh
Well,
yes, the biggest reason to advance technology, so we can have more ships.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
Or
think
we can have more ships with babies.
well, I think admittedly, what you see on the screen here is the Creek really pulled this out of thin air. So, I mean, except for the Alita in Japan, that was something Maxi came up with. So, but everything else,
I don't really get the whole. But can this ship reproduce? Like, adoption exists. Just have your ship adopt a baby. If your ship is questionable on whether or not the
I
ship can
agree.
reproduce, have them adopt a baby.
yeah,
Or like maybe have them adopt a child with in a context that relates to one of their backstory. Like one of them has like doing better by helping a child with a similar tragic backstory to one of them, so preventing the disaster that was one of their life at some point.
yeah. Well, there's
Yeah,
certainly
no.
remember on rather on Zalem, there were certainly all those kids running around, weren't there? I mean, they could have adopted any of them probably. So
There's probably a ton of children of orphans in the scrapyard too. There's definitely.
yes.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to wake up in like 4 hours, so I will have to leave.
girl,
Yeah.
you.
Do what's
late.
right.
Bonne nuit.
Well, let's wrap it up then. Let's do that so y'all can participate in the call to action. So anyway,
Oh,
did we
okay.
miss anything? No, I don't think so. And if we did, let's just move on.
We've had 2 full streams of shipping now. I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think that's
Now we
enough.
can we can have some another one in a year to see if we come up with anything more.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can do that. Yeah. And here's our queen, Rosa, of course. And, you know, as the Creek says, Rosa's #1 in his book.
Jim
that's
and
for
Nora
sure.
from Last Order.
I'm sorry?
Jim and Nora at the beginning of Last Order.
Okay.
Oh, Jim
Okay.
Roscoe, he's gone.
Yeah,
Very gone.
yeah, Jim Roscoe with Nora, the one that was later running around with a flamethrower.
Okay, so we'll save that ship for next time.
She would
but
take care of making him disappear.
But anyway, as I was saying, Rosa is #1 in the Creek's book for sure. And I want to give a shout out to El Lamont and Jesse Fisher. They brought Screwhead to life, and we want all 3 of these ladies in the sequel. That's for damn sure, because they're all good at what they do. Certainly, Rosa and Elle are really good actresses, and Jessie is as Elle said, is the most badass stunt woman she ever worked with. So, all 3 of them are really good at what they do, and they deserve to be in that Alita sequel. And also, as the Creek says every week, it sure don't hurt that they're pretty. So, moving along. Angelus, I guess Maxi is he going to be the host tomorrow, or are you going to be the host?
Most likely, Maxi.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about a little bit of a speculation. Is Disney is they keep putting out bad. I won't say bad movies,
A
but
bloody topic.
yeah, Vladi topic.
The results aren't. As
Oh, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Objectively, Disney is putting out movies that are not making money to be kind of.
That's the way to say it. Yes, it's not.
Yeah,
good
that's right.
Financial.
The karma has caught up to them.
Yeah,
That's
Finn,
too bad because some of this movie are really nice. And when talking about karma, I would say maybe karma for the higher ups. But as someone who works in the industry, I have a lot of sympathy for the people who work for Disney and are probably getting laid off left and right because they're not making profit. And sadly, the people on the bottom that pay the price.
That's very true.
let me
Well,
say.
Save some
Let
of that for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Save some
let me
of
say.
that
Let me
tomorrow.
say
The
something.
remake of Snow White is did they said they're rescheduling?
Save
I hope
some
they're
of
just
it for
canceling it,
tomorrow.
but they don't want to admit they're canceling it, so they
We're-
pretended they're
No, no, no,
rescheduling.
We're gonna save this for tomorrow. Okay, so
Okay.
but I want to say something
Oh,
to
man.
Finn Hobbensee on Kopfe. He finds this interesting. So anyway, I think maybe he's got a headache from all this. So anyway, yeah, we're going to definitely talk about the possibility that I think is that if it happens, or no, not if, when it happens, I think Alita is going to save Disney's butt. That's what I think. Because
right.
they're putting out movies that are not making money. I mean, and they refuse to put out a movie that's even if it wasn't a blockbuster, it's still going to make money. You know what I'm saying? Because it made money the first time, even with all of the things that are going against us. But we are going to save that topic for tomorrow. So anyway, here we go.
We'll get
Okay.
stuck right into Disney.
That's right. So why is this image here? Well, that image is there because Creek likes it, and the Creek is running the stream. So he's the producer. So anyway, that's why it's there. And to paraphrase Gerwishka, I'm only here for our girl and the Alita Army. And of course, all of us here on the panel and in the entire Alita Army, we're all here for our girl. So because we want our girl to get that damn sequel, Disney, and you need to come up with that. So we lost Chaos. So anyway, being that as it may, I guess that brings us to the very last thing. Vladi, any last thoughts?
No, had enough shipping for the year. See you in 12 months.
You betcha. How about you, Channel?
We're all shipped out.
Yeah, we're shipped out. Yeah, but go ahead, Channel. What? Any last thoughts?
Thank you for taking my mind of the chemistry final and the disaster that it was today.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Maybe you did better than you thought you did, Channel. So you never know. You know
what he said.
Yeah, I hope I did good on the final because I already got back the answer for the report and I passed it, but just barely.
Well, you
Pass
passed.
is a pass.
A pass is a pass. That's right. Matu, any last thoughts?
I'm really, really exhausted, but God, I love those streams. And shipping is life. Keep shipping, babies. Keep shipping.
I love it.
Angelus, any last thoughts?
Shipping is the lifeblood of some fandoms. It's not the lifeblood of Alita, but it doesn't hurt.
It doesn't
Exactly.
hurt. That's right. Angelus, any last thoughts?
I ship Alita and Uwu.
Absolutely. And the Creek's last thought is Alita is his niece, and whatever ship she wants to get into, I'll support her. as long as it's not Embody or Nova.
Alita knows not to get into a ship with either of those.
I don't think so either. Okay, well that just leaves us one last.
Alita wouldn't get into there too, with her either.
Yes. So that
my English is falling apart. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's all right. All right, that brings us to the call to action. That'd be on my count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Film
the
baby.
All right, so we will see you next week on the Alita live stream, and we will see you tomorrow on Radio KAOS.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bonne nuit, dobranoc.
What's up, Alita Army? This is Hot Toys Alita, and I hope you enjoyed this week's Alita live stream. Please join my Uncle Creek, Angelus, and our other guests for next week's show. Remember, I do not stand by in the presence of evil, and film those sequels, baby. See you next time. What's up, Alita?